Hello, everybody. I'm Thomas. Welcome back to another Solo Gaming Sunday, this week, Nexalis Edition, where I will be returning to Nexalis, the RPG, bright fantasy RPG. We're going isle to isle, going across the Nectar, doing all sorts of crazy adventures and encountering magical mishaps and whatnot, and having a good time. So that's what we'll be doing here today. Hope everybody's doing good, having a good Sunday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm looking forward to playing this game. It's been a while. I think I was looking, last time I played it was July, so it's been like 8 months or about 8 months. So it's been at least a half year since I've last played this on the channel. I've probably, I can't remember the last time I played it solo. It has been a while since I played it solo also. Up until this last week where I started playing it some more to kind of refresh myself on the rules and kind of get reaccustomed to the game, which I've been doing and having a real good time playing this. So, yeah, hope everybody's doing good. I'm trying to think what's new with me. Let's see, what games have I been playing? I'm playing more Bullet Heart, of course, because I got the expansion Bullet Star, like, last Friday, so I've had it for a little over a week. I've still been trying to play through now, because when I first got it, I played through all of the heroines in like one sitting, which was a lot of fun doing like the score attack mode. So now I've been going back trying to play against some of the bosses with some of the characters I really liked, and that's been a lot of fun. And it really makes me appreciate like all the characters play really different and how they interact with bosses. Like it's like one character against a boss plays sometimes entirely different against as one character will play against that same boss. So I still love that game. I don't think I'm ever gonna get sick of it. Maybe at some point I will, but I am like, I think I'm over 100 solo plays now since I got it in late December, and I still have I'm having an absolute blast with the game. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. What else is new? Last week I started up a Fallout 2D20 like RPG playthrough with a couple friends of mine. So we started doing a GM-less playthrough of the Fallout RPG with using Mythic, which has been pretty fun so far. We haven't gotten super far. We only did one session, which we spent a good chunk of it like setting up the characters, establishing the story, and all that good stuff. But it's a good time. I mean, I like that RPG so much. I like Mythic. I think they work great together, and I think once you really get the story rolling, should be fun. What else have I been doing? Been watching more the anime Jujutsu Kaisen. So I've been watching through that recently. I watched through season 1 a while back. I thought it was okay, like not terrible, but not great. But the season 2 came out pretty recently, so I've been rewatching season 1. Then I watched the movie last weekend, which is good. And then I started watching through season 2, which season 2 is a lot better than season 1, and it is better than the movie. So like, I don't know. I'm liking it a lot. I still think, from what I've heard, people were saying like, "Oh, it was the best show ever. It was just peak anime." Like, I mean, personally, I think it's gonna be hard to beat Attack on Titan in my book, but it is really good so far. Like a lot better than season 1. I think I'm like over halfway through season 2 now, so probably by next week I'll have it done, hopefully. But I'm definitely been enjoying that. That's the only show I've been watching. I haven't really watched any movies. I watch a lot of streams. I mean, I work from home, so a lot of the times I'll have like something pulled up on my other monitor, whether it's like a YouTube video or a stream, or if like, I have some downtime in the evening and I'm just like either playing a game or just like on my computer doing something. A lot of the times on like one of my second monitor, I'll just like have some stream pulled up. So I've been watching, still watch a lot of Squeaks. I'm a big Squeaks fan. The other day I was like watching him for a good few hours play. So I think it was Supermarket Simulator, where you're like running a supermarket. And that was pretty fun. Who else have I been watching? I like Squeaks a lot though. He's fun. Young, she's a favorite of mine as well. Pretty chill vibes. She's been playing some Minecraft recently. I started up a new modded Minecraft server, which is pretty cool. It's been fun to watch. That's like really recent. Lee, a 20-something loser. I've been pop over to her streams every now and again, and she's been doing like a posh speed run on Stardew Valley, which has been pretty fun to watch. And then she just did like a little recap video on her channel recently, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of watch a lot of streamers. I watch Slicker Drips. I watch a good amount of. So I don't know. I pop around to a lot of channels and streams, especially like if it's during the day. I mean, I'm in Eastern time, so like it seems like a lot of the streamers I watch, they all stream in like the evening, like around this time, like 5, 6, 7. So it kind of sucks that it's like, if it's like evening and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go like, watch a stream for a little bit. It's like 3 or 4 people I like watching are all streaming at the same time. So I have to like pick and choose like who I want to watch. And then during the day when I'm at work and I don't like, I don't know, I have a lot of time to like watch people. It's like no one's live during the day. Very few people are. That's why I like Slicker Trips' streams, because he streams at least early from like my time. Usually it's around like noon, which is nice. M. Curran, the creator of Iron Valley, has been working on a new RPG, which I'm very excited for. It's like an MMO style, like tabletop RPG. Looks like a lot of fun. I just watched through one of their recent streams where they were like working on it, finishing, like kind of fleshing out like the tutorial island. And the more I've been seeing them work on it, the more excited I am to give it a shot at some point. I don't know when they're doing a beta for it, but you best bet whenever that beta comes out, I will be playing it on this channel because it looks like it's right up my alley. It looks like a really fun game. They spent a lot of time like putting it together and like working on the skills and the items and the classes and the different zones in the game. So I'm very excited about that. What else? I'm probably forgetting other people, but like I said, I kind of pop around to a lot of different streams and whatnot. Yeah. So that's that. I don't want to ramble on too long, but I don't know, just talk about random stuff at the beginning. And then I've also been playing a lot of Nexalis this last week. I guess not like a lot, but I've been rereading through the rules, which luckily it's a pretty it's not too big of a rule book. The rules are pretty straightforward. And this last weekend I've been playing a good bit of it, and honestly, I forgot how much I like the game. Like it's a lot of fun. I like how simple it is, how creative it can let you be. And it's a bright fantasy, so it's always like a kind of more upbeat game, and just, yeah, I don't know, it's very open-ended, which may at sometimes be not the greatest, but most of the time I like how you could just kind of do whatever. And it's not really too structured, which I do like. Yeah, there's a lot I do like about Nexalis. But I mean, I always go over my final thoughts at the end, so I'll kind of save that for then. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah. So I guess we'll just kind of get right into some Nexalis. So first, I should say, before I get started, just because I know I might forget about this later, as far as additional tools and sources I'm using only one thing extra. And then you can see it peeking out right here. This is the Mythic 2nd Edition Fate Chart from Mythic Game Master Emulator. I'm not using anything else for Mythic, just the Fate Chart. That is the only additional source, tool, whatever, that I'll be using today. When I play, that's the only thing I feel like I really need. And the game does have a built-in little oracle, and it's fine, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm just such a sucker for Mythic's like oracle system, the yes/no chart, that most games I just prefer to use that, if I'm being honest. Even though I don't really even like mess with chaos factor or anything, which I could, because a lot of this is structured around like scenes, so I could maybe I will like kind of incorporate at least chaos factor a bit, but I don't plan on doing like threads or character lists or, interrupted scenes or anything like that, which I could, and I feel like that might work pretty well in this game, to be honest. Give it a bit more structure. But today I'm not going to do that. So yeah. And so I guess with that out of the way, we can kind of start going over the rules. I'm going to try not to talk too long. I got the rules pulled up on my iPad here. What I'll probably do is start, there's some nice little intro text giving you a bit of a flavor of what's going on with this game. So I'll read through some of that, not all of it. And then I'll try to be pretty brief about rules, just going over the rules overview, not take it too long, especially because I've played this game on a previous stream. So I've probably covered it more in depth there, but I'll still try to cover at least the basics today. And then we'll get through character creation and yeah, let's see, we're about 15 minutes in. So I want to be, by 45 minutes, so half hour from now, I want to be playing the game. That's my goal. So taking like maybe 10, 20 minutes for rules explanation and then like 10 minutes to create a character. That's kind of my outline. What I'm going to attempt to do. Now, normally I sometimes ramble on a bit long, but that's just how it do be. So I turn up the brightness a little bit and see if I can zoom in a bit on the iPad. Do I have a good... Oh, perfect. I'm so glad I got my little zoom in scenes working again because I missed having them. Okay, so welcome to Nexalis. A world of wonder awaits. Embark on a breathtaking journey across the starbound isles, where the magical Nectar forms an ethereal ocean connecting countless uncharted islands. In Nexalis, you and your fellow adventurers navigate the enigmatic sea, guided by celestial constellations shimmering on the surface of the Nectar. Each island holds unique secrets, cultures, and mysterious phenomenon awaiting discovery and exploration. Unravel the mysteries of the Celestial Nexus, which is the source of the world's magic, and forge alliances with the inhabitants of these diverse islands. You'll create your own stories, build friendships, make allies, and unearthing ancient knowledge. Nexalis invites you to embark on an odyssey through a world of wonder and awe, where each adventure will lead you deeper into the heart of the cosmic ocean. As you sail through the shimmering nectar, you will uncover the secrets of the starbound isles and leave an inedible mark on the ever-changing canvas of the cosmos. Prepare to set sail and explore the boundless mysteries of Nexalis, a realm where the stars guide your destiny and the nectar unlocks the secrets of the universe. So then a little bit about the Nexus and the Nectar. So in Nexalis, the Nectar is the lifeblood that connects the multitude of small isolated islands. It is said that ancient cosmic event caused the land to fragment into these countless isles, each with its own unique culture, flora, and fauna. The vast expanse of cosmic plasma is a magical, mysterious substance that flows between starbound isles, pulsing with vibrant, ever-shifting colors that reflect the celestial patterns guiding adventurers on their journey. At the heart of the Nectar lies the Celestial Nexus, a mesmerizing, powerful vortex of astral energy that constantly reshapes the plasma sea and its islands. The Celestial Nexus is the source of the world's magic, its power flowing through the ocean like a network of ley lines that bind the islands together. It is believed that the Nexus was created by a divine being known as the Astral Architect, who designed the world as an ever-blooming canvas of exploration and wonder. The constant blossom of islands and ocean stars, as some of the locals call it, is a testament to the Astral Architect's desire for endless discovery and growth. I got one more little bit to read here. So navigating the Nectar requires enchanted vessels, specifically designed to harness its magical energies and propel themselves through the otherworldly seascape. These ships are crafted using ancient techniques and rare minerals that resonate with the plasma, allowing them to sail across the ocean safely. As one navigates the Nectar on these enchanted vessels, they are guided by the celestial constellations that shimmer on the surface of the plasma. These constellations act as a bit of a map and a compass, leading adventurers to new islands and hidden realms. Each island is imbued with a piece of the Celestial Nexus's magic, manifesting in forms of strange phenomena, powerful artifacts, and unique traits of the island's inhabitants. Drifters embark on journeys to explore these uncharted islands, helping locals with their magical and cultural challenges and unraveling the mysteries of the Celestial Nexus. As they uncover the secrets of the world, they gain the favor of the Astral Architect, earning unique rewards, forging alliances, and discovering new allies and friends. So, what is this game? Well, Nexalis is about exploration and growth in a mesmerizing and ever-changing world. As you journey through the starbound isles and the shimmering nectar of the ocean, you encounter vibrant cultures, awe-inspiring landscapes, ancient relics, and enigmatic secrets. Guided by celestial constellations, you will brave untold challenges, learn valuable lessons, and forge lasting bonds with the people and places you encounter. In this game, your characters are drifters from diverse backgrounds, united by a shared purpose and insatiable curiosity for the unknown. You will take on unique roles, aiding locals and protecting the delicate balance of the world as you grow stronger and wiser with every new experience. Embark on a voyage of wonder and revelation, guided by the stars and whispers of the Nectar. Unravel the mysteries of the starbound island, open your heart and your mind to the Nexus, and leave your mark on the world of Nexalis. Are you ready to answer the call of the unknown? Chart your course through the Nectar, embrace the transformative power of your journey. The world of Nexalis awaits. As you see, some inspirations from this game. So it's inspired by a couple games: C4, Aegon, Iron Sword, and Blades in the Dark. To be honest, I've never played or heard of C4 or Aegon. Iron Sworn, of course, I've played on the channel, and Starforge I've played on the channel. Blades in the Dark is on my list of RPGs I do want to try at some point. Haven't gotten around to it yet, though. Just a quick gameplay overview, just a high-level outline. So you choose a playbook for your character, customize your character, you create an island, your first mission, you face challenges and trials as you progress towards your goal. You embark on a journey to the next island. As you do so, you reflect on your experiences as you recover and advance, and then you get ready for your next mission. So yeah, gaming gear, you just need 1 to 6 players. So this can be played multiplayer. You need at least 2 D6 or 6-sided dice, a copy of each player book, Easy access to the random tables. Island maps are optional, but I like having them. As you can see, I got one kind of up here. Well, you can't really see it right now. Paper pencil for note taking, which since I'm streaming, I mean, I'll still keep a bit of a journal, but probably just very brief bullet points. Playing it safe, there's some safety rules and like suggestions, but you know, I'm playing solo, so not super needed for me. A quick overview of some of the playbooks that you could play as. So there is the Wild Heart, who is basically a druid, you know, embodying the untamed spirit of nature. The Wild Heart is a fierce protector of the wilds, drawing strength from mystical energies that flow through the land. You have the Bladesworn, who's kind of a warrior / paladin type character. So Bladesworn is a valiant champion of honor, courage, and skill, sworn to a cause or bound by a loyalty. You got the Spellweaver, who's masters of arcane secrets and the intricate tapestry of magic. Spellweavers command the unseen forces that shape reality. Next, you have the Pathstrider, which is very much a ranger / hunter type character. So nimble and elusive, the Pathstrider moves like a whisper on the wind. These adept scouts and hunters have an uncanny connection to their surroundings, navigating the terrain with ease and grace. Next, you have the Night Stalker, which is pretty much a rogue, silent as a shadow and cunning as a fox. The Night Stalker is the embodiment of stealth and deception. Master of the art of subterfuge, they can slip into the darkest of corners, strike from the shadows, and vanish without a trace. And then finally, I think it's the last one. Yeah, finally you have the Thunder Soul, which is kind of a barbarian type character. So unleashing a storm of fury and destruction, the Thunder Soul is a whirlwind of raw power and relentless ferocity. So this is all the different playbooks, like kind of characters and whatnot you can play. And each playbook has a couple of things going on for it. They have the ways, which I'll get to in a second. It's kind of like your stats, essentially. So it's your preferred way of approaching obstacles. You have your goals, which is just your character's main overarching thing that they're trying to do. You have talents, which is it's like special abilities and skills that you have. I'll quickly note what it says here. So rather than limiting your actions, these highlight your character's area of expertise and exceptional competence. So it's kind of a good note to make because like if you have a talent that lets you lockpick doors easier, a character that doesn't have that talent can still lockpick doors. But it's just if you have the talent that makes it easier, then you're just better at it. So that's how you should think about talents. Relics are unique weapons and artifacts, powerful tools that can provide an edge in combat or offer unique benefits in certain circumstances. And then finally, each playbook has health and energy points, which is your reserves to accomplish your feats. Health represents your physical resilience. Energy points fuel your talents and can provide you with a little boost to your dice roll. So here's all the different ways, like the different skills kind of in the game. So you have Way of Fire, which is like passion and bravery. You have Way of Ice, which is focus, precision, determination. Way of Light is knowledge, reasoning, perception. Shadow is stealth, subterfuge, and cunning. Way of Stone is strength, endurance, resilience. Way of the Wind is finesse, speed, and agility. And Way of Aether is empathy, spirituality, and it's kind of like the magical way. So depending on which playbook you pick, as you can see here, you'll get default points in each of these. So I'm going to be playing as the Pathstrider, spoiler. So I'll start with 3 in Wind, 2 in Light, and 1 in Shadow. And I'm going to probably skim over this because I'm going to do character creation here in a bit. So I'm just going to skip through all this. You don't need to see this right now. We'll hop back to this. There's rules to create your own playbook, which is pretty cool. So the basic rules. How are we doing on time? Like I said, I don't want to talk on too dang long. Okay, I got like 10 minutes to cover all the basic rules. And luckily, there's not too much. I kind of explained the outline at the beginning of like how it plays, which is pretty much you go to an island, you go to some town, you're greeted by somebody, and they have a problem. And then you figure out what needs done to solve this problem, and you just start doing steps to solve the problem. Then once the problem's solved, you leave the island, go to the next island, and you just kind of rinse, wash, and repeat that cycle. Obviously, there's a little bit more to it, but that's kind of the gist of the game, the main overall kind of gameplay loop. The main thing is throughout the game, you'll be encountering adversaries. So adversaries represent all different things that stand in your way to accomplish a mission. They serve as obstacles to test your skills, wits, and endurance. Adversaries are categorized into 3 main types. You have challenges, contests, and combats, which are the 3 main kind of things that you do in this game. You either have to overcome challenges, contests, or combat. So challenges are pretty straightforward. Challenges can be overcoming any obstacle, solving puzzles, accomplishing a task, avoiding a threat, enduring hardships, disarming traps, and more. Basically, a challenge is more or less anything that's, well, if it's combat, that just means you're straight up fighting, and contests normally involve another like NPC or player. So if it doesn't fall into either of those two, it's a challenge. And so your challenge is something called a CR rating or challenge rating. And that just determines how difficult it is to overcome. So as you can see here, we got a little bit of a scale. CR 4 to 6 is you can probably beat the challenge in a single action. 7 to 9, probably take 2 or 3 actions. And 10 or more is probably gonna be 3 or more actions to kind of overcome it. Contests include situations like chases, competitions, debates, non-lethal duels, negotiations. They're presented with evocative imagery followed by a description of your opposition. The difficulty of a contest is determined by your opponent's SL or skill level. They have a little scale here. So SL of 0 is an easier opponent if you want a good chance of winning. +2 is the standard level. +4 is a worthy opponent. And +6 is a formidable opponent. And then you have contests or combats, which is just fighting. And the main thing you have to figure out for fighting is your opponent's skill level and then how much HP they have. Skill level I just went to, it's 0 to +6, with +2 being the most common, and health points being 4 in the range of 4 to 14, but 7 being the most common. And then most enemies also have powers that when they roll a 6, they activate, which is pretty nice. And yeah, there's like you can roll on the HP down here. So for weaker enemies, you just roll 1d6, or for a boss, you roll 4d6, which is nice to randomize all of that. So challenge rolls. So we're gonna get to how you kind of overcome all of these things. Challenge rolls are definitely the easiest. So what you do is declare your action, decide which of your ways or your stats you're gonna be using depending on how you're approaching this goal. You roll your d6 and you add your challenge score. Or your way score, sorry. And then you compare it to whatever the challenge rating is. If it's higher, you beat the challenge. Great. If it's not, if it's lower than that, you have kind of 2 options. You can choose to advance towards your goal, where you reduce the challenge rating by 1 and narrate your progress. You have to change something in the scene, introducing like a complication or a cost or a setback, and then just keep trying. Or the other option is it just doesn't make sense to keep trying. You narrate how the situation changes with your failure, and you choose another action to go to next. So that's challenge rolls. Pretty straightforward stuff. Contests are really cool. I like contests in this game. They're very fun. It's a cool way to do it. Contests encompass all actions in which there's an active opposition to the character, but you're not trying to harm each other, because that would be combat, and we're going to get to combat next, but we're talking about contests. The main thing, like I've used contests in, or like negotiations, it says here, a chase, a competition, a debate, all of these can be contests. So how it works is you start with a contest score of 0, though sometimes, depending on circumstances, you might start with -1, +1, maybe a -2 or +2. Negative being bad, plus being good. So if you're debating somebody and you did your research beforehand, maybe you would start with a +1. Or if you're trying to chase down somebody and you're chasing them down in their territory, then you might start at a -1 or a -2 for this contest. You decide what you're going to do for this contest, like how you're going to envision your action, and then decide which of your ways you're going to use to do what you want to do. What you do is you roll 2d6, you add your way score to one of the dice, and then you add the opponent's skill level to the other dice. You compare the 2 results. If your result is higher than the opponent's, you add the difference to the current score. So if my result was 6, the opponent's was 4, I would add 2 to the contest. Maybe I'll scoot this over so I can. There's a little contest tracker here. Very handy thing to do. So it starts at 0. It ends when it either hits plus or minus 6. So like in that scenario, I said if my score was 6, the opponent's was 4, we started at 0, then we'd be up to plus 2. And it goes the other way too. So if my result is lower, if I have a 3 and the opponent has a 5, okay, well that's 2 less. So this would go down 2. This may also result in, loss of HP or EP energy points. And if they're the same, describe maybe a slight change, but no actual progress is made. And with contests, you win if it hits plus 6, you lose if it hits minus 6. If it hasn't, you just keep doing the contests. But if after 6 exchanges, you haven't won or lost, then you just end it there, and see where you are on the scale. If you're in the positives, then you win. If you're in the negatives, you'll lose. If you're still at 0, you do one more exchange. And yeah, like I kind of just showed you, there's a little, on the side of the character sheet, there's a little contest tracker, which is pretty handy to use. And I will definitely use that for whenever I encounter some contests. So that's contest. The last thing we need to do is combat. Just trying to keep an eye on the time. I don't want to jabber on too long, but this is the last main thing to go over. As long as I go over how to do the 3 adversaries, everything else is pretty straightforward. So in combat, there's initiative roll, and that's just where I roll a d6 and the enemy rolls a d6, no modifiers. If the player's dice is higher, the players go first. If the enemy's dice is higher, enemies go first. And basically, you more or less take turns attacking and defending. So when you're attacking, this is how this works. Decide which your ways you're going to use depending on how you're doing your attack. You roll 2d6. On the first d6, you add whatever way you're using. This is my attack score. And then on the other one, you add the enemy skill level. That's their defense score. If my attack score is higher than their defense score, I hit them. And whatever the difference is how much HP they lose. So if my total score is a 7, theirs is a 4, that's a difference of 3. So I would hit them for 3 HP. If my attack score is lower than their defense, you kind of have 2 options. Most of the time, you'd probably just choose that they either like dodge or parry or absorb or just ignore your attack. And the enemy just goes next. You don't do damage. Tough luck. You do have another option, though, which I think is pretty neat, that they avoid your attack and then deal you or an ally a counter blow where you subtract the difference from your own current HP. What's nice about that, though, is if you let them do a counter blow, you get to go again. So if you swing and a miss, no HP is damaged or anything, then it's their turn next. But if you let them hit you with a counter attack, then you get to go again, which is pretty cool. And if they ever reach 0 HP, they're dead. Defending is pretty much the same way. Choose which way you're going to use to defend. Roll 2d6. Add your way score to the first one, enemy skill level to the second one. If your defense is higher than the enemy's attack, you have the same 2 options. You can choose to just block their attack, or you can choose, to do a counter blow, but then they would get to go again. That's pretty much it. Your defense is lower than the enemy's attack, you're getting hit. And also if the enemy rolls a 6 on their attack, they get to activate their power if they have one. And on ties, nothing really happens and you just re-roll initiative. Couple other things to note. So there's this concept of splitting dice. It's kind of like exploding dice if you've ever used those in some other RPGs, but this is a little bit different where whenever you roll a 6, during any kind of roll, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be combat, it could be combat, challenge, whatever, contest, you can do what's called split the dice. It's optional. You don't have to do it, but you can. And what you basically do is you take that 6, you re-roll it, and you also get to add a new dice in. And you add the sum of these 2 new dice, which is a pretty neat idea. But what you have to remember is if you choose to do this, you have to take the result. So if you roll a 6, you pick back up that 6, roll 2 dice now, they could both come up 1s, and now you're at a 2 total instead of a 6. So there is a chance you end up with a lower score, which you have to keep. What is cool, though, is you can continue to split dice if they land on a 6. So there's a hypothetical chance of getting an infinite roll or just like dealing 1,000 damage in one go. Very unlikely, but it is possible. You have your energy points, which is used for your talents. The other thing it's used for in this game is effort. So before you do dice roll of any kind, you can spend energy points to add a boost to that test result for each energy point spent. The max you can spend is 3 energy points per one roll. You also have relics that give you bonuses. Some stuff can give you penalties. A basic turn is you can move, use a talent, do one of the basic rolls. That's pretty much, I mean, turns only are really applicable in combat, and most of the time you just kind of wing it. Like it's pretty loose structure, which is nice. There's a bunch of oracle tables, flux. So after you complete a mission, you'll have what's called the seafaring phase. The main phase of the game is called the island phase. And then there's the seafaring phase when you're on the sea going between island to island. And that's when you restore your HP and your energy points. And then also you get to upgrade your character a little bit, whether it's adding new waypoints or getting new talents, upgrading the relics you have. It's pretty cool. There's also the option to recover between scenes. That's a thing you can do. There's a whole facing death thing, which we're not going to really go over. Loop overview, we kind of talked about. Island phase, I already kind of described. You show up at an island, a bunch of oracle tables to roll on, which I have a little like cheat sheet note card that I'll be like referencing throughout. So it's just showing different oracles and what you're doing. And you create adversaries and complete them until you feel like you've accomplished your goal. Let's talk about framing the scene, overcoming the trials. This is all nothing I really need to go over. Resting, I might need to come back to this because I always forget resting is an option. Something you can do at the end of each scene, though what's interesting is there's a risk to resting. So you roll a d6, and depending on what you roll, you might heal up some HP or a lot of HP, or maybe none, as a threat occurs, and now you have to just get back in the action, which is pretty cool. Just end the mission whenever you feel like it's, you've reached the end. The seafaring phase is where you do, there's 3 things. You reflect, you bond, and you dive. Reflect is where you take a moment to consider the experiences you just had, including your new achievements, setbacks, lessons learned, newfound friends and allies. And that part is where you gain your HP back. Then during the bond phase, players have a chance to forge deeper connections with one another by sharing their experiences, personal stories, and insights gained during the journey. This is where you gain some energy points back. And then there is the dive phase, where you embark on a solitary journey to deepen your connection with the Nexus. And in doing this, you have a couple of options to upgrade your character, essentially, where you can add a dot to any way score. You could pick an extra talent, pick a new relic, upgrade a relic, get more HP, or get more energy points. And what's cool is these 3 phases, to reflect, bond, and dive, also are just like role-playing moments to if you're playing with other people, kind of flesh out your character a bit and just have some downtime while you're on the ship sailing to the next island to have your characters talk, learn a bit more about your backstory, your experiences on that last island, and just to, get some role playing in. So, and then whenever you feel like your journey's over, you can go home. That's the rules. How am I doing on time? Okay, I'm definitely behind where I wanted to be, but we're getting through this. So we're on to character creation, which I probably shouldn't have put this away because I do wanted to pull up the character creation section real fast, but I will try to go through this semi-quickly. So I'm just going to pull up the little overview. So what's cool is, let me see, my stuff not really centered. Wait, let me do this, hold on. Let me move this back. Can I do this instead? Is that a little bit, that's worse. Okay, hold on, I can still go back to this and then just move this over. That's totally fine. So there's a bunch of different playbooks, like I kind of went through earlier. I'm playing as the Pathstrider, the swift and resourceful explorer, navigating the wilds with grace and skill. I don't know what to name them, so I'm gonna go with Mies. I did print these out and like laminate them so I can just use a little dry erase marker, which might smudge a little bit, but I'll primarily, I probably won't keep it on this side. That's why I have like an extra little bit of rules on the off to the side, so then I could just keep this side up. So I start out with 20 HP and 20 energy points. And then as you can see, I already have some dots pre-filled in for the ways based on my class I picked. So first I have to pick a goal, which as the title of the stream kind of indicates, I'm definitely going with this top goal, which is to track down a legendary beast that only exists in Tales, proving my unmatched prowess as a hunter. Goal picked. Talents. So as you can see, got a whole bunch of talents here. Really cool talents. Each playbook has their own talents. That just provide different bonuses in different situations. So I get to pick 3 of them. I have not read through these, so I'll quickly skim through these. You got Keen Tracker to hone your tracking abilities. Treetop Acrobat, leverage your agility. Swift Shot, fire 2 arrows in quick succession, each with a +2 bonus to the attack roll. Animal Companion, Healing Salve, Vital Shot. I like Vital Shot. I might pick Vital Shot. Make a precise shot with your ranged weapon targeting a vital area of the enemy with a +3 bonus. Seems pretty good. Eagle Eye. Sharpen your senses, granting a +2 bonus to a sight-based roll. That also seems pretty good. Fleet of Foot. Enhance your agility, granting a +2 to a maneuver roll. Animal Whisperer. Communicate or gain trust of nearby animals. Terrain Mastery. Utilize your knowledge of the natural world for a +2. Yeah, I kind of want to be a more hunter, even though hunters most of the time like have some like animal stuff. I want to be more of like an archer. So I think one of these agility ones, the Treetop Acrobat, probably not. Maybe the Terrain Mastery. That seems like a fun one. Cool. Got our 3 talents picked. Vital Shot, Eagle Eye, Terrain Master, and as you can see in parentheses behind it, has a little the cost of how many energy points it costs to use. So now that we got that picked out, the last thing to do is figure out the 2 relics we want. Yeah, and that's it for character creation. That's the nice thing about character creation is it does not take long. So you got Talon Spear. Spear designed to strike with the precision of a raptor's dive. Seems like it could be helpful. Wide Strider Bow, lightweight bow that allows for swift shots. Quicksilver Crossbow, crossbow that transforms arrows into swift ethereal projections. Whisper Leaf Cloak, a leaf-made cloak that offers near silence and motion. Ooh, I think I want that. That sounds pretty fun. Sanctuary Seed, a magical seed that grows into a temporary shelter. That sounds pretty cool. Swift Strider Boots, lightweight boots that improve the wearer's speed and agility. Trailblazer's Lantern, a lantern that illuminates hidden paths and secret passages. Or Serenity Stone, a stone that imbues the wearer with a calming aura, soothing wild creatures. I think maybe I'll take the Wind Strider Bow, because like I said, I kind of want to go for more of like an archer-style hunter. Yeah, like a sharpshooter, a marksman-style hunter. That's what I'm thinking. So I think of WoW terms. I'm not being a beastmaster. I'm not a survival hunter. I'm a marksmanship hunter. Yeah. There we go. Character created, and look at that. I'm pretty much on time. I wanted to be 45 minutes in starting to play, and we're basically there. So let me zoom back out, and we'll kind of get rolling on this adventure. So I have a good handful of like printed out islands here. I think these there's a handful that came with the book. I believe that's what these are. Because I also there's a website that you can use to just make your own, which is pretty cool. So I'll probably just use these throughout. I don't know how many islands we'll get through. I imagine hopefully at least 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. Probably not 3, but we'll see. So we're starting on Island of the Ancients. So my character Mies here, as their goal is to track down a legendary beast that exists only in Tales, proving their unmatched prowess as a hunter. So yeah, as that kind of says, we'll say that this island here Caria is where Mies is from. There's a lot of woods here, so he probably did a lot of hunting and whatnot in those woods, and has probably heard tales of some mythical beast that what was I gonna say? That's just a rumor, but you know, he wants to go try to find himself and see if it's not a rumor. Don't forget your way scores. You were so right. I definitely forgot the way scores. Hold on. It's 4 points, right? Thank you so much. Also, hello there. Good to see you. Yeah, it was like the first thing, and I totally forgot it. Yeah, so let me... Thank you so much for that. I would have totally forgotten. I probably would have maybe realized at some point, maybe. So let's see. We already got lots of shadow. So you get 4 extra points to add to your way score. So we'll add 1 to shadow, 1 to ice, because that's like focus. I need to focus. We'll add 1 to stone. I'll be honest, I don't like having a lot of these being 0. So I kind of want to fill in some of the ones I don't have. And maybe Aether to have some more empathy and also like some magic. That's like kind of the magic one. Cool. There we go. Now I got character creation done. So yeah, Mies here has set sail on his little enchanted boat, which I imagine, I don't picture it being like, it's not like a huge boat, but it's not like a rowboat. It's probably like a sailboat size. Like at least there's probably like a deck part where there's like a bedroom. Maybe it's just like a cargo ship, but like a small one that's made for just like one person essentially. That Mies maybe has helped build himself. Because he always is hunting in the woods, so maybe he's also has met some lumberjacks and whatnot, but has built a boat and has set sail to go try to find this mythical beast, this magical winged creature of tales. So he probably doesn't know too much about it because it's just a tale, but he'd like to try to find more about it, find it, and kill it. So that's what we're gonna hopefully try to find and see how it goes. So the first island that the Nectar kind of guides Mies to is Isle of the Ancients, where that's where we're rolling up. We probably spot Wormport. It's like the main town here that we roll up at. So first thing to do is get a little description of the island, which we can do with Oracle 3. We just, most of these Oracle rolls just either roll a d6. I think most of them roll 2d6. So we got 63 that it's veil protected. Okay. And also 42 mountainous. Okay. Maybe I'll roll one more. It's mountainous, it's veil protected, and 21. Dream haunted? Okay. I'm gonna jot those down real fast here. So island description, it's veil protected. That's quite the assortment of little descriptions. It's mountainous. And it is, what was the last one? Dream haunted. Which I don't know how you see that, but I guess maybe as he's like riding up, maybe he was asleep and he starts getting haunted in his dreams. I don't know, but that could be. So we roll up to Wormport and see what's going on in this island, see what Mies can do to maybe help some people out. So name of the island, we already, no, there's a oracle to roll names on, but this already has the name. It's Island of the Ancients, so I'm not gonna roll for the name. So now we get to envision who kind of greets us and who's gonna like give us their problem that they need fixed. So I like rolling to see, I guess we can roll their name first. So we get 54. Obrinvis. Okay. I'm gonna label them as the greeter. So we have Obrinvis. Obernvis? Okay. And we get a last name for him, just to really give him, oh, Levin. Fire Gem. That's a cool last name. Yeah. And then let's see what their role is as they start telling us a little bit about themselves. We get 41 is Luminary. I'll be honest, I don't really know what Luminary means in this context, so I'm just gonna roll again. 45. We get Nectar Guardian. I'll be honest, that sounds way cooler, so we'll just stick with that. Their role is the Nectar Guardian. I like that. So maybe it's called Wormport, so I assume there's some port there, so maybe they're like the kind of port master, or maybe they're the one that kind of watches over the port, deals with guarding the nectar, I guess, which is kind of a cool role. Next we can roll on some motivation for them, maybe as we are just doing chit chat just to get an idea of what they're about. So motivation, there's this first little table up here with a bunch of verbs, nouns, and adjectives. So let's see what their motivation is, which you can roll multiple of these. I'll probably just roll one. So we have guard. Okay, of course, they're guarding something. If I get guard nectar, I'm gonna freak out. Guard community. That totally checks out. I like that. I like when like roles just fit so perfectly. It's a very satisfying thing. Okay, and the last little thing to roll up here for Obernvis is a little description of kind of what they look like, what their deal is. So rolling the adjectives, I'll probably roll like twice. I got 65, which is wise. Okay. Obernvis is wise, and I got 65 again, so we'll go 56 this time. Switch it around. Serene. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, we dock on port, which makes sense that Obernvis is the one that comes up to us because he is the Nectar Guardian who guards the community. It's Wormport, so he's definitely going to be watching the port, keeping an eye on whoever rolls up here at Wormport. So, yeah, he's nice, he's wise, serene, and as I get to chit-chatting with him, he mentions there's a bit of problem here on Island of the Ancients that he could maybe use help with. So, what is that problem? Well, let's roll on some oracles. So here's the thing. Describing the problem on the island. There's a couple ways you could do it. There's an oracle that just gives you straight up ideas of like fleshed out like problems, which it's great. I think that's what I used last time, and I got like the infinite staircase and stuff, really fun stuff, and I like them. But you can also just roll on this oracle and get some more abstract ideas, which I when I've been playing recently, that's what I've been doing, and I kind of like doing that. So I'm gonna try the abstract first. Maybe if I don't come up with anything great, maybe then I'll pop over to like the actual like example oracles. But I mean, I feel like this guy's the Nectar Guardian. He's trying to guard the community, so it's probably gonna be something in that realm, and we can kind of probably make something work pretty easily. But let's see what the dice say. Maybe not. I don't know. So we get 14. 14 is... the verb is awaken. And then let's see, we get 31. Awaken disease. Awaken disease. Okay, let me ponder this for a second. He's the Nectar Guardian. He's guarding the community. He's worried about a disease that has been awoken. I mean, maybe it's like some sort of disease that's corrupting the nectar around the island. Could be. Could also just be something in the nectar that's causing the people of Wormport to get sick. That's also a possibility, definitely. Awaken disease. I might re-roll disease. Not that I don't like it, but Let's just get some other options. 63. Awaken Trust. Yeah, that's a bit more difficult to work with. I could probably still make it work, but I like Awaken Disease. Awaken makes me think like it's probably something in town, maybe not necessarily dealing with the Nectar. And it kind of makes me think like, I don't know, there was some relic that was recently dug up that's now making the town people sick. But I liked also the idea of incorporating it with the Nectar, since he is the Nectar Guardian. But I guess it doesn't have to be. I mean, his motivation is to guard the community as a whole, so it doesn't like have to be related to the Nectar. I'm gonna roll another verb just to get some more ideas. I think 13. Is that not what I just have? Avenge. Avenge disease. Okay, that makes me even more confused. Okay. Awaken disease. I guess sip of water as I think about this. Yeah, I kind of almost like the idea that maybe there was some, but I also like, I might reroll it just because, I mean, not that it always has to fit, but it would be nice if it's like, if the thing that they need help with is something like I'm actually good at, like involves like hunting something down or killing, some creature. Like that's my area. I'm a hunter. I'm a past strider. So like, that's what I'm good at. I'm good with bow and arrow. So like if it's like a disease spreading out among the town, like I don't know how much help like a path strider is going to be with that. I mean, I could still probably help, but like that's not really my area of expertise. If it was like, oh, a beast, okay, now hold on, okay, maybe I can make this work. So maybe like their animals are getting sick because of some creature that's been coming by. There we go. Then I have to hunt down the creature, make it all work. Maybe the creature is in the Nectar also, and that's why I can connect it back to the Nectar Guardian as well. Boom, done. So yeah, maybe it doesn't have to be the animals making sick, but there's some creature that's swimming around in the Nectar that's, yeah, we could just say like polluting the Nectar with some disease that's making the town people sick. It's like giving off like noxious fumes and releasing just stuff in the Nectar itself that's causing the Nectar to be kind of corrupted and the people in the town to become sick. I like that because then that kind of ties into his backstory. It kind of ties into my character of like hunting creatures, which is something I could actually like help with. And it sounds like a good little starting quest. So I think we'll start with that. That sounds good. So what I like doing is at least writing 3 steps for accomplishing this task. Which, yeah, I think it would be something like probably just like locating the creature, finding the creature, and then helping fix the plague, like remedy the plague or the disease that's going around that it caused. Because I think just killing it is not going to be enough to get rid of the damage it's caused to the Nectar and the people. That's also going to need to be like reversed. But I think, yeah, it's probably going to be tracking the creature, killing the creature, reversing the disease. I think is a good little 3-step, which there's probably gonna be more steps in between, challenges, contests, more combats, but I think that's a pretty good little 3-step plan there. So I'm just gonna write find creature, kill creature, and then I guess reverse disease effects. I don't know the best way to phrase that, but that seems like a good little 1, 2, 3 steps shouldn't be too hard for me to do. Did I take anything for tracking? Maybe I didn't. I took the Eagle Eye shot. That's for sight-based rolls. I took the Whisper Leaf Clove that makes me silent. The Windstrider Bow is hitting things on the move. Vital Shots for hitting a vital area. And then I have Terrain Master. Yeah, there is the Keen Tracking ability, which I did not grab, and now I'm regretting that. But it's too late now. We already create our characters, so we gotta just keep on keeping on. Okay, so we have our island created. That's a veil-protected, mountainous, dream-haunted place. We're greeted by Oblivious Fire Gem, the Nectar Guardian of the town, who's trying to just guard the community and pretty wise and serene, and they're having problem with an awakened disease that's being caused by some creature in the nectar itself that's making the nectar corrupted and also making the townspeople sick and spreading this disease around. So I need to find the creature, kill the creature, and reverse the disease effects. I think that sounds pretty good. We got a little cool little story and a little quest going on, so I like it. So I just figure out how to start. So finding the creature. I'm trying to think if I want to create a challenge for this or not. I mean, it's definitely going to be a challenge to find the creature. I kind of just want to like gather information about it, which I don't think would be a challenge in it of itself. Maybe that's part of the overall challenge. Like first step could just be gathering some info. I created little like cheat sheet note cards for me. I guess I can zoom in onto them down here. This one just has all of the Oracle details, and this has like a brief summary of like challenge ratings, the skill levels, contest score, and also enemy HP. And what I did was I wrote some I broke them up into like different ratings. So yeah, I mean challenges are from 4 to 12, but I just made it kind of 3 options. So it's either easy, which is a 5, challenging is an 8, or hard is an 11. And I kind of did the similar thing for skill level. Easy, challenging, hard. Which I'm not going to necessarily just stick to those, but I'm going to use those kind of as a guideline. Maybe adjust them a little bit. But I think tracking this would definitely be challenging at the least. Like an level 8, maybe 9. Because I also need to learn about the creature. It's going to be hard to find in the nectar. I have to track it down, see kind of how it's, I don't know, talk to maybe some town folk, learn about it a bit, and then do what I can to try to actually find the thing. Which is going to be tough. I'm probably going to have to like hop back on my boat and just like go around the island until I can track it down. Unless I don't think I could just, maybe I could just wait at Wormport and like wait for it to show up. Maybe if they do that often, I don't know. Yeah, so what I think I'll do is start with challenge. So I get Obrinvis. It's a weird name to pronounce. Obervis tells me all about this. I'm like, great. I'll get started on this right away. So I think the first thing is, yeah, I create a challenge. We'll say it's challenge level 9. Make it a little bit more challenging than my normal challenging. Just because I feel like I'm going to have to like the first step's going to probably be gathering a decent amount of information and then actually trying to track down this thing. So I'm going to make my first skill roll. So I'm going to be using my blue d6 as my primary dice. And first, I'm going to try to, just like I said, gather information about the creature, ask locals what it looks like, where it's appeared, how frequently it appears, trying to get an idea of like its nature, its patterns, what it's kind of about. So I'll be using light since that's like the knowledge one, the knowledge way. And I mean, I guess I could also Aether might be, because that's like empathy and kind of charisma, but I'm trying to more use my knowledge to get like an idea of like its patterns. So I think light fits a little bit better, plus has a better score for me. So you know what, I'm gonna do it. Let's roll a d6 and I get a 1. Great. So +2 light gives me a total of 3, which is definitely not above a 9. So that was a swing and a miss. Not necessarily a miss. It's just not completed, which I didn't expect to complete it. I think I went around, gathered some info from the townsfolk. We'll bump my energy points down 1 maybe as just a way of showing, I don't know, I spent energy walking around town, talking to people, gathering info, learning about the creature. And I'm going to use the Mythic Oracle to just answer a few questions. So I guess, but first I would ask Oberynvus some questions, since he's the one that's told me about this whole thing. He is the Nectar Guardian, so I'm sure he would know better than pretty much anybody in the town of what this creature's deal is. So I guess I would ask him, like, does it... Let me think of what I want to ask him. I guess like I ask him, like, if I'm hunting for this thing, like, should I wait in Wormport, or would it be better to just like go around the island? So should I wait in Wormport for this creature? I'm gonna go 50-50 because I don't know. Maybe I should go out on an adventure. Maybe I just camp here in Wormport till this creature comes back. So I'm gonna go 50-50 chance. And that is a 29. And I forget exactly how I phrased the question, so I might need to reroll. So I'll phrase it like this: should I go travel around to find the creature? That's my question. Should I travel around? Should I travel around? And I get an 11, so that is a yes. So he's like, well, it does show up here, but apparently not very frequently, not enough that if you probably want to find it quicker, it's best to go around the island, is what he tells me. So I'm like, okay. Does he happen to know, like, where it's, I don't know, where it's like, where it sleeps, where it eats? Does it have a little cave that's its home? I'm gonna go very unlikely that he knows, like, where its little home or base or where it frequents is. He does. Would I say very unlikely? He does. That's a 7, so that's like almost a strong success. He says yes. He says it's mainly been spotted we'll say in the south part of the island, kind of near this forest. Frostfire, though it is more inland, there's some fishers out on this coast and whatnot, and there's hunters in this forest that they say they spot it down there a lot more frequently. So maybe they don't know exactly where it is, but they know this southern part of the island is where this creature frequents a bit more. But it does pop up to Wormport, since that is a portside town, and gets attacked a bit more that way. So I think those are the 2 bits of info I get, is that, yeah, doesn't frequent in Wormport that much, that I probably should go on the move to find it, and that the south, like, kind of forest area, maybe that even that little, like, dot of an island sticking out is maybe where it frequents. Maybe that's where its little base is. Maybe it's just under the Nectar where we can't see, but we'll have to find that out. I guess the last thing I'll ask him is, does he know of... I'll ask him 2 more things. First off, do you know of any weaknesses for the creature? I'm going to go nearly impossible that he knows weaknesses for the creature. He says, no, I don't know any weaknesses for the creature. I say, great, figured not. But let me ask you this. Do you know any, like, way to lure the creature out? Like, does it seem to get, are there any scents that attract it? You know, if you have, like, meat out, does that attract it? If you're burning a fire, casting spells, like, and do any things attract the creature? Because that's something I want to do once I'm trying to find it. I'm going to go unlikely, but I'm not saying it's impossible. So we'll go unlikely on the little fate chart. And that's a 64. So he says, unfortunately, no. That since it's the frequency it visits Wormport are pretty sporadic, pretty infrequent, that they haven't really been able to pinpoint, like, what brings it to Wormport exactly. And it doesn't seem like it reacts to anything they've done or anything like that. So he doesn't have any leads there. Unfortunate, would have helped if I knew, like, lighting a torch would make it mad and have it attack me, then I would do that. But apparently that's not an option. So, okay, we get a lot of good info. Okay. So now what do I want to do? I mean, I'm probably just going to, at this point, I feel like I got enough info to start just trying to track the dang thing. So I might just hop back in my boat and start sailing south of Island of the Ancients to go try to figure out what's going on. I guess, I mean, I could maybe also try to like park the boat somewhere, walk to Frostfire, see if they have more info, which maybe isn't a bad idea. Maybe I will do that. Because walking there would take forever, but the boat would be pretty quick. And there is a little river, so I could like go around and then be pretty close to that little river that goes in there. But I also don't mind just walking a little bit. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's what I'll do is I'll navigate the boat south of the island and park it and go hit up Frostfire to get a little bit more info. See if I can clarify those two things that Obernvos didn't know about. See if they know any idea of a better idea of where this creature might frequent, where its like home is, where it chills at. I don't know. And then also if it has anything that like it doesn't like, maybe also weaknesses, though I'm not expecting to find anything about weaknesses, but I am hoping to find at least like maybe something it dislikes or maybe something that it likes, that just a way I can like attract it to me to like get its attention, try to kill it. So yeah, I'm gonna set sail south, head to like kind of near the south tip of the island, maybe just on like the edge of the forest, way at the bottom there, and then I'll make a little bit of a trek up to Frostfire and try to get some more info from someone there. So I don't feel like I'm still in the middle of this challenge. Technically, I've only rolled once on it, which was me gathering info, which I did. I'll probably make another challenge roll here in a second, but I want to establish maybe another character in Frostfire that could help me out. So we'll just say like Frostfire helper. I don't know, just a name and a role for somebody that's helping me out in Frostfire here, that I can talk to. Maybe like a mayor or maybe another Nectar guardian, but they're not really adjacent to Nectar, so I don't know. Well, let me roll for a quick name. 65. Zathara. I like it. Zathara. And we'll say their role is... Let's roll up their roll. 25 is... Exile. Okay, well, I'm going to re-roll that. I want someone that's actually... I mean, maybe that's decent, and I could probably work with it, but... Cartographer. I like that a little bit better. Cartographer. Okay, we got Zathara the Cartographer at Frostfire. Who, yeah, maybe, I get there. I probably don't know who to talk to or what to do. And maybe I should have asked Obernvos who to talk to. And maybe I did. And maybe they recommended me Zathara. So I had to like go find them. And I go hit up Zathara, and I'll start asking her some questions about what the heck's going on and about this creature and whatnot. So I'm gonna probably ask. Oh, let me do a challenge roll. Even though I'm gonna do another light. Add light to this. I don't think it's gonna succeed. Okay, I got a 1 again. So I'll bump this down to a 7 now. And I don't have to spend energy points every time, but I'm going to, just because, at least for these, like it makes sense that I'm spending energy like walking around towns, talking to different people. I'm just wasting time, and not wasting time, but I'm spending time and energy to find info about this creature or multiple creatures. I hope there's not multiple creatures. I think it's just one creature, but maybe not. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to ask Zathara her opinion on a couple things. I'll be like, first, Zathara, I'll tell her the situation. I docked at Wormport, talked to Obervis, got some info. So I'll be like, first, do you have any idea specifically where this creature frequents? I'm gonna go likely, but I don't know. That's a 14, so she's like, yes. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll say that she sees them most often like in this area, like kind of near where the river starts or ends. I guess that'd be where the river ends, and also like in this island. So like this specific little part of the island up there. And so I'm like, okay, great. Second question: do you happen to know any weaknesses of the creature? Which I'm gonna go very unlikely. She says, nope. She's like, I never had the chance to attack the thing, so we don't know. I'm like, great. Do you happen to know anything that attracts the creature? Whether it's something it likes or dislikes, like something that can get its attention. I'm going to go 50-50 because I don't really know. And that's a 34. So she says, yes, actually. We do know something that can kind of attract the creature. Maybe I'll roll on the noun table. That could work. I don't know if that's going to be. We'll see what result I get. Maybe I'll have to just do something else. 1 and a 4 is blossom. Blossom. Okay. So maybe there is a certain like a magical type of flower that's native to this island, and specifically like this part of the island, that it seems like whenever they're in bloom, this creature comes out a bit more, and like maybe even like tries to like kill all the flowers. Like it's not like it doesn't like them. Yeah, we could do something like that. That sounds good. Okay, then I guess my final question is like, okay, do you have any of these flowers around? I'm gonna go 50-50 because I don't know. That's a 49, barely enough for it to be a yes, but she's like, yeah, we have a few that we could give you if you're trying to track this thing down, which she already knows I am. I probably explained this whole situation. So, yeah, she helps me get a little basket full. It's definitely not a ton, but she thinks it should be enough to at least get its attention. And I'm like, okay. But it's okay. So what's interesting though is this thing doesn't seem to like these flowers. So I wonder if maybe it's a part of its weakness. You know, maybe if I can, you know, so if there's some like nectar or something that I can get from these flowers and like attach it to an arrow, kind of do like a poison arrow situation, but with these flowers, and then shoot them at the beast. Maybe I get some like crits, some extra damage. Maybe might be worth a shot. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to thank Zathara for her time and her very helpful advice. And I think I'm just going to be on my way to try to track this beast down. So I will hop back in the boat and start trekking around. I parked like over here, like way at the south tip of the island. So I'll kind of make my way over to like the edge of the river and like that little island, and kind of park in the middle of that and see what I see. Kind of just camp it there for a bit and see what happens. So maybe I will do another challenge roll, but maybe with ice, because I think that's like focus, as I really try to just see what I see, try to keep focus and try to just be on the lookout for this thing. Oh, and I have Eagle Eye, so I can spend an energy point to get +2 to this roll, which I would definitely do. So I'll be adding 3 to this roll. So all I need is a 4 or higher. And I got a 5. Oh man, oh man. Okay. Nice. So I spot this dang thing. I have a good description of it. They say it gives off like a bit of a it gives off a glow. It's this kind of shark looking creature, but then it also has like a longer neck, and it glows blue, and it has red eyes. And I see a creature, I'm just like checking all the boxes, like blue glow, yep, red eyes, check, blue glow, okay, yeah, looks kind of like a long neck, yep, okay, this is it. So step 1 complete. We have found the creature. All right, now it's time to try to kill the creature. Okay, let's see how this could go. I'm trying to think of if there's anything I want to do beforehand. I guess. So here's something I've been trying with my recent solo playthroughs of this game is, and I kind of like doing this. Like this I kind of like. So right now, like I'm just on the boat chilling. I want to know, does the creature see me? And I could just do a mythic roll based on what I think. But what I like doing is I do a normal way roll first, and then use that result to help dictate what my mythic odds are. So like what I mean is I'm going to do a shadows roll and then see what that gives me, and then base my mythic roll kind of off the shadows roll. So I just want to see how sneaky I'm on a boat, so I don't imagine I can really be that sneaky. So I did get a 7 total. So that's pretty good. Maybe I'm being quiet on the boat. I'm still on a boat in the middle of the water, or the Nectar. So it's probably gonna be pretty easy to spot me. So we'll say my question is, does this creature see me? I got a pretty good stealth roll, and I can see, I have pretty good vision. So I'm gonna just leave it at a 50-50 chance, because I'll go unlikely, because I do have some advantages here, but I am just a boat in the water. So we'll go 50-50. 63. So does the creature see me? No, it does not. Yeah, no, it does not. Okay. Oh. Well. I got a bit of I got an edge on this thing, so I might be able to get the first shot at it. Because normally when you enter combat, you have both the player and the enemy roll a d6 for initiative. But what I've also liked doing is, like, if one of them can just, if either they were to attack me or I attack them, like, I just don't roll initiative and just have one side or the other go first based on kind of what's going on in the narrative. So I think, like, right now they don't see me. So if I, pull back my bow and take a shot at them, then I would just go into combat with me having initiative first, and then just kind of going from there, just kind of ignoring the initiative rolls essentially. Which the game doesn't say to do that, but I kind of like doing it that way, which I don't do that often, but I think this scenario applies, where right now they don't see me and I have a bit of a surprise on them. Is it swimming around, or is it chilling? Is it swimming around is my question. I'm gonna say it's likely it's swimming around. It absolutely is swimming around, and that's an exceptional yes. So not only is it swimming around, it is swimming around quick. But luckily, I have the Windstrider bow, which gives me a +1 to shoot at moving targets. So you know what? I'm gonna pull that baby out. I'm gonna aim it right at its head, doing a vital shot. And we'll see how this goes. I don't know what way I would add. Probably wind or maybe ice for, like, ranged attacks. Let me see if this notes. Way of ice is like focus and precision. Way of wind is finesse, speed, and agility. Focus and precision. My ice isn't very high if that's like my range stat. I mean, I guess it also depends like how I'm attacking. So I'm trying to, like, focus and get a good shot off. I'm not really trying to fire quickly. If I was under attack, I'm just trying to get a quick shot off. Maybe Way of Wind would make more sense. But I think since I'm trying to like land a good shot, I think Wave Ice makes a little bit more sense. Which if that's the case, I should have put more into my Wave Ice. But also it does say like Wave Wind represents a character's swiftness, grace, and nimble movements, which I would also say probably does qualify for ranged attacks. I don't know. I mean, I know it also can vary depending on how exactly I'm attacking. I also think, like, since this is a Path Strider character, the fact that wind is 3 should be a pretty good indication that, like, that's kind of the stat to use for ranged attacks. I think I might just play it that way. Because that's like agility and whatnot. But ice also kind of makes sense. Maybe I'd use ice if I'm like really trying to land a hard shot, but this probably isn't that difficult of a shot. So I'm just trying to just line it up and hit him down. I am going to be using the vital shot though, which costs me some extra energy points to do. Which that's going to give me a +3. And then that's giving me a +1. So that's +4. And then that's +3. So that's going to be +7. That's a lot of pluses. I'll take it though. So let me real quick create some stats for this creature. So first off, they need a skill level. 0 to 6. I don't know if I want to make them a +5. +3. I could. I might go +4 for their skill level. Because I think this thing is going to be a hard thing. I mean, this is what the whole adventure on this island is about, was finding this creature and taking it down. So I don't think it's going to be like all the way difficult, but it's also not going to be a walk in the park. So I might say its skill level is, we'll go +4. That seems like a pretty good skill level. And then for the health, I'll roll 3d6 to make it like an elite enemy. Let's hope I get some low rolls. That's 8 total. So it rolled actually pretty low. I guess, what would the average of that be? I think average would be like 10 for 3d6 rolls. The average is what, 3.5? So that's 10.5. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it has skill level 4, +4, and then HP 8. So I'm making this first attack. Like I said, I'm just not rolling initiative since it doesn't see me. I see it. I will line up my shot. And I guess I have +7 with this because I have +3 from this, +1 from that, +3 from my way. So that's +7. I might be able to wipe this thing out in one go if it rolls really low. We'll see. We both roll 1s. Great first rolls. But that means they add +4, so that's 5 total for them. I add +7, so that's 8 for me. So that's my attack beats their defense, and I deal 3 damage to them, bringing them down to 5 HP. So I line up the bow, take my shot, hit them right in the head. Definitely does some damage. They seem to like reel back a bit, especially because they're like kind of caught off guard. Because I mean, they didn't really see me. But now they see me, and this thing is charging right at me. It's swimming through the nectar, red eyes coming at me. And I guess, boy, oh boy, I don't know. It's just going to try to attack me. Maybe it has like pretty sharp teeth that it's just going to race up to the boat as I'm trying to like knock another arrow back and try to just take a bite at me, which is kind of messed up. So I think I'll probably use wind to try to just hop out of the way, just dodge this thing attacking me. So let's have it attack and me defend, and let's see how this goes. So I roll 4, it rolls a 5. That's a 7 total for me, and that's a 9 total for them. So I'm getting hit for 2. That's fine. I am able to mostly dodge out of the way as it tries to bite me, but it does manage to like graze my my like arm, my shoulder a little bit, and does does do some damage. Not a lot, you know, and my arm's still intact. I can still shoot, but it might mess up my my aim a little bit. Okay, so then it's back to my turn. I'm gonna do another vital shot because that's kind of my go-to right now. So that bumps me down to 13. And I don't think the Windstrider bow, I'll get the bonus since at this point it's pretty much at the boat. So it's not really probably moving around too much. At least I don't think to qualify for the because it's for like a moving target. So, which is fine. I'm still going to be adding +6 to this roll. So like that's pretty good. I'm not going to complain. Let's see how this goes. So that is an 11 for me versus 6 for them total. Right, because I add +6, it's 11. They add +4, so that's 6. 11 to 6, it's a difference of 5. And they only have 5 health left, so they go down. As I pull my arrow back, they're right up at the ship, so I'm able to get a direct shot right in its stupid red eyes. And as I could see it charging up this noxious fume that's about to just blow on all over my ship and probably infect me with whatever disease it's been affecting everybody else with. I pull the arrow back, let it go. It goes right through its eye. And the creature just falls into the water. Big splash. You know, nectar gets all just everywhere. Nectar's all over, just over the ship now. I'm like soaked. But the thing goes down. It is dead. Check there. Cool. All right. So now to try to reverse the disease effects. So this one's going to be probably a little trickier. I'm sorry. That battle went pretty good, all things considered. My arm did get hit a little bit. Not the end of the world. I had some good rolls though, so that does help. RNGesus was good here. Okay, let me get a quick sip of water. All right. Beast taken down. So now I need to reverse the disease effects. Yeah, this is not going to be an easy. I'm going to say this is probably at least going to be another 8 challenge. What was my last challenge? I made that a 9. This is probably going to be an 8. Mainly because I probably need to first get the body of this creature. It's probably just floating on the surface, like in the water. I need to retrieve that first and probably inspect it. Either myself or I bring it back to Wormport for somebody to inspect. That maybe we can kind of dissect the body and learn something about the fumes and like the gas it was giving off to like make everybody sick, kind of like reverse engineer, or at least get an idea of like the disease. But I don't know if that's really even like a thing that would help, but it's something. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. So let me create a new challenge for this, trying to reverse the disease. Which yeah, I think it's just gonna be me getting the body, bringing it back to Wormport, checking over the body, and then applying what we learned from that and like what the doctors have found out, just trying to help reverse this disease. Yeah. So I think I'll make this another, let's see, I'll maybe make this another 9. Maybe I'll go 11 for this. This is gonna be tough. Like, it's not gonna be easy. To be honest, I kind of blew through some of this other stuff too. I mean, finding the creature didn't take too long. I am a bit of a tracker, so like, not trying to brag. And killing the creature also a little bit easier than anticipated. Maybe I should have made him a little bit trickier, but I made him almost a hard creature, and I made him an elite health. Like that's pretty good. So, yeah, I'll make it another 9 challenge. I'll go 10. We'll go 10. This is going to be a 10 leveled challenge to try to reverse this disease. And I think the first thing to do, like I said, is I need to fetch the body out of the water, bring it on my ship, and then we'll head back to Wormport. So I'll maybe do a stone. I'll use Wave of Stone as I try to like haul, like, as I kind of hop off the ship, tie some rope around this thing, and try to like bring it up onto the ship. Which I do get a 6. I could split that and try some more. I'm just adding +1 to it. I'm going to forgo that for now, and I just won't split the dice. And we'll go down to challenge rating 7. As I'll spend a bit of energy points to do this. As I tie some rope around this creature and slowly pull it back up onto the boat and start making my way back to Wormport. Now I'm curious. I already faced one sea creature. Do I face any others in the meantime on the way back? Which I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm going to ask the Mythic here. Do I face any more creatures on my little trip back to Wormport? I'm going to go likely. I'm going to go likely that I do, because I think it is. I already faced one big guy. Let's see, this Nectar is probably swarming with other things. Let's see. 42. Even if I went 50-50, it would have been still yes. So, yes, I do encounter another creature. We'll say, what could I encounter? Maybe it's something flying. Maybe it doesn't have to be like in the Nectar, but it like hops on my boat. Maybe it's just some big like some big hawk type creature that like, or what am I thinking of? Like a vulture. That's what I'm thinking. Like it could sense the dead body of the creature on my boat, and it's like attracted to it. So it's trying to like swoop down and trying to grab, like eat the body, try to grab at the body, which I'm trying to preserve this thing because we're trying to dissect it and like study it a little bit to try to reverse this disease. So I'm gonna have to fight off this hawk. So I'm gonna create a new little combat. So I think we'll give the skill level of this hawk probably just a +2. I don't think it's gonna be that difficult, but I will make them. We could go to standard enemy, so 2d6. I'll roll it. It's a little bit more fun to roll it. 8. It has as much health apparently as the big creature did. Like I said, it rolled kind of bad for its health, but this thing is a little bit easier skill level, so that should be not too bad. And this time I will roll initiative since I probably was able to spot this hawk, but like I don't think either of us really had like a huge advantage. So just doing a straight roll and no modifiers, and I got a 3, it got a 2. So I get to go up first. Yeah, this hawk kind of swoops down, tries to take a bite at the body, but then gets out of the way, and that's how I first see it. And then as I see it trying to make its other dive back down, I line up a shot. I definitely think the Windstrider bow comes into play here because I can shoot at a moving target. I'm going to do another vital shot, trying to aim specifically at the vulture's wing, trying to take it down so it can't fly anymore. That would be kind of handy. So I am adding +3 with that and +1, so that's +4. And maybe I'll use ice, so that's +5 total. So that's a 9 versus their 8. So I do successfully hit it just a little bit. Yeah, so they're down to 7. Okay, so I take aim. I'm trying to aim at the wing, but this thing is moving fast. It's like diving down, trying to snatch at this body. So I'm aiming at the one wing, and I do hit it, but I hit it right at the edge of it, right at the tip of the wing. So it does make contact, it does do damage, but definitely not enough to knock this thing down or really even mess up its flying, which is unfortunate. Because now it's swooping down at the ship trying to attack me, which is messed up. And now I gotta try to defend myself. Which I'm probably just trying to dodge out of the way using my wind. So I will roll +wind here. And I get a 7, it gets a 3. So sucks for them. I'm a little bit more nimble than this vulture trying to grab at me, bite at me, whatever it's doing, whatever vultures do. I don't really know. And then it's back to my turn, which this thing is probably flying away trying to make another like little dive attack. So I won't do a vital shot this time. I will just do Windstrider Bow, ice, plus ice, and maybe I'll spend I guess maybe I will do another vital attack. Screw it. We'll go down to 8, so that's another plus 1, plus 3, so it's plus 4, plus 5 total. Seems pretty good. So I really try to focus my aim here and hit this in the wing. Oh, that rolled out. That was a 1, so I'm glad I'm rerolling. So we're adding plus 5, right? So that's an 8 total versus their 6. So I am able to do a decent amount of damage to them and bring them down to 5 health. So they're... I hit their other wing. This time it messes up their flying. They're still in the air, but they're not flying as quick or as good as they were before. But they're still heading down towards the body. But now they're coming at me because I was attacking them. So now I got to try to dodge out of the way again. Yeah, I'm probably just going to use plus wind. So that is an 8 versus their 5. So I successfully dodge out of the way. And now, let's see. What do I want to do? Do I want to take another vital shot? Do I just do... Maybe I'll do wind plus wind strider, because that'll be plus 4 total. Hello there, Bobby. Kill that vulture, man. This vulture's messing me up, man. It's attacking me on this ship, trying to snatch at this body that this creature I killed. It's almost dead, though. It's almost dead. Appreciate you popping by. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, so it's back to my turn. I think it just swooped down, so I'm going to attack with plus wind as I try to get a quick shot in. So probably not enough time to do a vital shot, but I'll still be adding plus 4 to this attack. And that is a 9 versus their 8. So I do manage to hit it, but only a little bit. Down to 4 health. Can't take the counter blow too. Yeah, that is true. I've been remembering that, but I don't know. I don't want to take the counter blow. But that's I do sometimes forget about that. So I do appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, maybe I should do that, but maybe this next attack I will, because this guy is coming back at me. I do manage to hit them, and now I have to defend against them. So I will spend... I'm gonna spend an energy point to really dodge out of the way of this thing. I'm starting to run out of energy points. And let's see, I'm gonna add basically plus 4 to my dodge. So that's 8 versus their 6. Okay, so I dodge out of the way. So now it's back to my turn, and I'm gonna just shoot at this thing again. Wind. I'm doing another vital shot. I don't even care. I'm going crazy. I'm using all of the bonuses now. Plus 3, plus 3, plus 1. Plus 7 total. There's no way this thing survives. There's no way it does. Except it rolled a 6. So that's so unfortunate. So I rolled a 9. It rolled an 8. So maybe I will do the counter blow this time. Because that means I would just take 1 damage. And then I go again, right? So maybe that is the move. I'll do that. Okay. That I try to shoot at it. My bow misses and it makes a quick attack back down. It's now on the ground, on the ship. And it's like right near me, trying to just bite at me. So I need to like get back and try to take another shot at it, because this thing is I don't really have any melee weapons. I should have taken the Talon Spear. I don't know how much that would have helped me though. Swift shot would have been probably decent too. So maybe I won't even attack. Maybe I could just get in like a decent position by doing like a wind check to try to like back up from it, because it's like trying to bite at me now. So like it's not really good range for like a bow and arrow attack. Which is something you could do in combat, is like you can do a non-attack roll to like add a boost for your next round. You know what? I mean, you can move on your turn, so I'll just say I move back a little bit and fire at this thing real quick. Doing plus wind. I guess Wind Strider bow doesn't come in, so I only had +3. I'll spend an energy point so I'll be at +4. I just want to kill this vulture. This vulture is taking longer to kill than the big beast that was terrorizing the town. It's ridiculous. So that's 5 total against their 7. So they're down to 2 health. I mean, when you dodge, you can hit it and it goes again. Totally optional though. Oh. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot it works both ways. I forgot it doesn't. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of forgot that it goes both ways, that you can counterattack attacking and defending. And then that would let me get some extra damage in and just let it go again. This is a good point. That is a very good point. Well, maybe I'll do that now. So let's see. So I'm going to just try to dodge it again, adding +3. Let's see if I can. I definitely don't. So that's a 6 against a 4. And so I would counterattack here and kill it essentially, right? So it's on the ground. It tries to bite at me. I essentially just like stomp it. I do a counterattack. Normally that would mean it would go again, but at this point that would deal 2 damage killing it. So I guess that's that for that vulture. Jeez Louise, that vulture was... I think also a vulture probably rolled a couple of 6s, but I think it was all in defending, that it should have like activated some power for it. I forgot to do that as well. But it was, I know it definitely rolled some 6s on defending, but I don't know if they were also on attack. But okay, this thing is dead too. I'll add it to my pile of bodies on my ship now. I got that big creature from earlier, and now I got this vulture. And I'm gonna make my way back to Wormport and hit up Obernvis and tell him that I've slayed the sea creature that he needed slayed, and that we can try to figure out what's going on with this whole disease thing. And I told him I brought back the body so we can investigate it a little bit, dissect it, do some spells on it to try to track its disease source or whatever, stuff like that. So yeah, I guess I'm going to work with him to try to figure out what's going on with this body and try to, like I said, try to figure out the origin of this disease so we can kind of reverse it a little bit more easily. So I'm going to roll plus light. That's like a knowledge roll. Let's see how this goes. The current challenge level is 9. And that is a 6 total, so not quite there. Bump that down to an 8 and say that we start dissecting the creature. We learn a little bit about the internals of it and how it's producing the gases and whatnot. Doesn't really tell us too much about what exactly the gases are that it produces and like what this disease is, but at least we now have some idea of how exactly it's doing that. I kind of want to do another roll for Aether, which is like, it can also be used as like the magic, right? So, because I want to see if like we can detect any magical properties of like where this disease is coming from. So I will roll, and I'll maybe use some more of my energy because this is the last thing we need to do. So like let's try to get this done. Get off this crazy island before I get attacked by another vulture. So I'm adding +2 to this roll. Okay, that's 3 total, so that's definitely not enough. So we start doing some like detect magic type spells, which I'm not very arcane focused, but maybe Obernvis is a little bit more. So I try to help him out. And maybe at one point we're doing some spells on the body to try to like locate how it makes this gas a little bit more, like the internal workings of it. And maybe in the process, it releases some of this gas and hurts us just a little bit. So I'll bump my health down like 2. as a little bit of a penalty, as like we're like poking and prodding at it and just like releases the gas. But we kind of have an idea of what's going on now. So now it's just a process of trying to whip up a cure and trying to apply that to people. So I think that's just doing adding light to my challenge roll and seeing how that goes. So that's 5 total. So we're down to 6 for the challenge roll. And we'll say that with Obervis and the help of maybe the town's alchemists and whatnot, we work with them to come up with some cure that we test, and it seems to work. But then there's like some side effects, like the person starts glowing blue, like the creature does. Maybe that's kind of fun. So it seems to work, but then there's just some little like problems to fix with this like disease cure. So I think it's just gonna be another light roll, and maybe I'll add another energy point to this because we're almost there to finding this cure. I can actually spend 2. I can spend up to 3, so maybe I'll just spend. I want to save 1. I don't want to go through all my energy points. I can always rest at the end of a scene, but we're almost at the end of this island, so I'll add +2, so that's +4 total, and that's an 8 total. So I stay up all night working with Obervis and the town's alchemist, trying to figure out, work through the kinks of this this disease cure, and we think we figure out like how to not have it have any bad side effects. We go around, we test it on some people, and it seems like it works. So we produce a decent amount of it and distribute it to anybody that's been affected by this disease that this creature gave off, and all is good. Challenge completed. The day is saved here on Isle of the Ancients. Whew. Okay, did lose a bit of health. We lost pretty much all of our energy. I didn't rest in between, which is, I mean, I could have between scenes. That's on me though. But yeah, I think, whew, got some good hunting in. We got learned a lot about some creatures and some other stuff. And I think Obervis for their time. I wish them the best of luck in any other. Any other encounters they have, and I'll tell them I'll stop back and check on them after here in a bit. But I have bigger fish to fry. I'm on the hunt for some big creature. And you know what? Maybe I can ask Obervis before I go. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to hunt down this like mythical creature. Do you know anything about it? I give a bit of a description to him of like this. It's like this winged dragon. It's like all red and stuff. They call him Deathwing. You ever heard of him? Let's see if I think it's. I'm gonna go with 50-50 if he's heard of him. But then, because it's like a tail, like that's how I know of it. Is Deathwing is just like this tail we've heard of. So let's see. Has Obervis heard of the tale of Deathwing? No. Okay, great. So not only has he not heard of the tale, he doesn't know of the dragon. So you're useless. All right, I'm out of this island. Goodbye. So I thank Obervis for their time. Maybe I grab a nice little bite to eat on the isle before I leave. It's a port town, so they probably got some good like seafood or something. Maybe we'll cook up the vulture and eat that. There we go. And then I maybe grab I stay at like the local hotel there for the night, and then I head out bright and early in the morning, sail away to the next island. Whew. Island complete. So now we get to do the seafaring phase. So first we get to reflect. So during the reflect step, you can use these prompts to guide your thoughts. Yeah, the list is definitely suggestions, but it's just gives you an idea of stuff to reflect on for the island, which I like just rolling. So I'm just going to roll. Maybe I'll re-roll if I don't like what I get, but reflect on my past journey a little bit. So 56. We get, as you dealt with the island's challenges and conflicts, in what moment did you feel the most connected to others, and how did it deepen your sense of unity and purpose? I mean, I probably felt most connected with others. I mean, probably when I got back to Wormport and, just grabbed that big body of that creature off my ship, plopped it down the shore. Obervis was probably very happy about that. And then also, like, we spent that entire night in his little workshop dissecting this creature, working with the alchemist, trying to like come up with a cure. So definitely it made me feel a bit connected to at least those two, because I was working with them a lot. And then also, I don't know, it gave me an appreciation for like the alchemists and how they're able to just come up with these concoctions that can cure people for these diseases. I mean, obviously they weren't able to do it by themselves. They needed some help from us, but I think overall it definitely got pretty close with them. And yeah, your sense of unity and purpose. Yeah, it made me realize, like, you know what? I took down that creature pretty easily. So you know what? Maybe I'm pretty good at taking down these big creatures, and that I'm on the right path trying to hunt down this Deathwing dragon. And then that heals up my HP as I reflect on my little journey. And so now we do the bond step. Normally, if you're playing with other people, you would talk to them during this step. Same with the reflect step, but it suggests when you play solo, you're just like writing a letter back home. So I would say I am writing a letter to my mentor, Rex. Yeah. Rex is my mentor who taught me to hunt and all that good stuff. So I'm going to roll on this little table to see what I'm talking to Rex about. 64. We all have strengths and weaknesses. Is there something you learned about yourself during your adventures that you never knew or acknowledged before? How does it influence your actions now? Something you learned about yourself during your adventures that you never knew or acknowledged before. Well, I mean, this is my first time journeying off the island. And I think, strengths, I'm pretty good at tracking creatures and shooting them down. So I probably just tell Rex that, like, all the time spent working on archery has really paid off. Tracking has really paid off. But I realized that maybe I shouldn't have skipped all the classes on melee combat, because I was definitely struggling against the vulture, especially when it was in like close quarters trying to bite at me. I was just getting bitten left and right. So how does it influence your actions now? I'm probably going to focus more on melee combat and making sure, like, yeah, I'm good at range, but then, like, what if I'm not at range? Then how am I going to fight? I need to just either make distance or find some other way to, like, I don't know, put distance between us so I can get back at what I'm good at. So I think that's what I learned as my weakness is just, especially in combat, melee is not my forte. Also, I don't know much about medicine. I wasn't very helpful for that cure, but luckily they had that alchemist that was able to like take what Obervis and I learned from the creature and doing our magic on it a bit and interpreting that into like remedies and potions and whatnot. So pretty chill time, and I definitely learned a lot. Signed, Mies, and I put it in a letter. I throw it in the Nectar, and I hope it arrives back at Rex. And with that, I restore all of my energy points. Back to 20. Then finally, the dive phase, where I take a little dip into the Nectar and have some crazy visions happen. So what am I at? 4, 6... So during your I just as I'm floating through the Nectar, take a second to go for a little dip, and during my descent, you experience a vision of the many possible paths that lie before you, each one shaped by the choices you and your companions make. You're forced to reevaluate the importance of trust, collaboration, the bonds that connect you to your fellow adventurers. What broader lessons about the power of unity are you able to apply moving forward. Yeah, so I think I just see, I see a lot of paths of just like different ways, maybe specifically like I see like alternate paths of like how that last island could have went. And specifically maybe I see all about how like if that alchemist wasn't there, like we would have all this info and wouldn't be able to do anything, or if Zathara wasn't on Frostfire, like I wouldn't have known where the creature was or anything about the flowers. So I see all these paths that like I would have been a lot worse off in, or had a lot less information going forward, or maybe not even be able to complete anything without the help of others. So even though I'm not traveling with any companions, I realize that the people on the island definitely, they know what they're doing, and everybody kind of has their area of expertise that can help each other out. So that's power of, what broader lessons about the power of unity are you able to apply moving forward? Just the, you got to work together. You got to play to your strengths, accept that you're not going to be great at everything, work as a team, and you'll get stuff done. And that's what that's my dive lesson. So then I can upgrade some stuff. I can either get a new talent, add it a point to way, upgrade a relic, get a new relic. What do I want? Is there anything? Let me glance over all my relics. I'll zoom in a little bit since I'm looking at this right now. About to edit my sheet a little bit. I can also increase my HP, my energy points. Got a lot of options, which I think is really cool. Part about this game is like, I kind of upgrade your character however you really want to. I kind of want to add a point to ice. I don't think I really need more talents. I'm pretty happy with the ones I have. Keen Tracker might be good though. Especially if I'm going to be tracking more stuff. So maybe I want to grab that, but I want to boost iced more at some point. Maybe boost the Windstrider bow, because I'm always attacking stuff that's like moving around. So I'll grab the Keen Tracker talent. That seems like a good talent to have. I don't want to grab too many talents, but this feels like a pretty good one for me to have. So we'll nab that one as we move along to the next island. Let's see what kind of crazy stuff awaits there. How are we doing on time? All right, I think I'm gonna take a real quick break, and then it's just like 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then I'll be back, and we'll play through another island at least. Yeah. So I will see you in a few. All right, where is the thing? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Solo Gaming Sunday. Continuing on to the next island. Trying to hunt down Deathwing the Dragon, this mythical beast that apparently no one on Island of Ancients knows about. At least the one guy I didn't. Maybe I should have asked around a bit more, but I think if the Obervis was like the Nectar Guardian, it seems like they would know what's going on in the town. So if a giant fire-breathing dragon called Deathwing flew through, I think he would know about it. So I think it's safe to say that island's not going to have Deathwing on it or know anything about it. But hopefully we can maybe track down something about him soon, because that'd be kind of cool. We did a bit of reflecting and bonding. We did our dive. We got a new talent. Keen tracker. Since I'm a hunter, I'm be tracking stuff, so it seems pretty appropriate. So yeah, doing good on time. I definitely think I can get through at least another island, and then we'll see how we're sitting after that. But yeah, great stuff. I'll catch the rest of the VOD. Enjoy your ventures. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you popping by, and I appreciate you making a really fun game. I really enjoy Nexalis. Like it's one that I'm glad I've coming back to, because I like just how it's the rules are so simple. I like the 3 different challenge, or like the challenge, contest, adversary, or the combat. Like I like a lot of stuff about this game. I mean, I'll definitely at the end I always give my final thoughts. So I'll gush about it there. But I think it's a really fun game. I like the playbooks, the talents, the relic. Yeah, there's a lot I like about it. So Island of Ancients is in the distance now. It's gone. We don't see it anymore. What island should we rock up to next? Oh, what about this? What about this? I don't know. We went to one of these islands before. I think I'm reusing some of the ones we did last time, which like doesn't really matter. We'll go to the Island of the Stars. This looks like a big island, so maybe we could also like hang here for at least an extra. We don't have to just do like one thing and go. We can maybe do a couple small things here. I don't know. Maybe it just will be a one and done type situation. It's got a lot of stuff going on. We got Skywoods, a couple of settlements, mountain range, a couple of woods. Got a shattered prison. Maybe something cool is going on there. Maybe there was some creature confined in the prison that's now escaped. So like that would be right up my alley if that's something that's going on. That'd be kind of fun. I'm actually pretty sure this is an island I did on my last stream, which is fine. I should really create and print out some more islands. I think these are all the ones, some of them that came with the PDF. So yeah, I get a quick sip of water and then we'll get back into this. Y'all stay hydrated out there. I've been not drinking as much water this stream, so I'm like trying to make a conscious effort of it. So y'all stay hydrated out there too. It's good for you. Okay, so we're gonna rock up to the Island of Stars and see what's going on here. So first, let's get a bit of a description of the island. So we'll head to Oracle number 3 and roll up some. Maybe I'll just do like a little line here. Separate this out. As we roll up to this next island, I'll put this like up here because I don't need it at the moment. So we'll do island description, and yeah, I'll roll up like, I don't know, at least 2, maybe 3 little descriptors for getting some flavor for what this island's all about. We get 61, which it is sunlit. Okay. Cool. What else we got? 42 is mountainous. Another mountainous town. Love it. Let's get one more. Sunlit, mountainous, and 23 ever shifting. That's kind of cool. Okay. Okay, so probably after a good little bit of journeying on the Nectar, after my last little bout at Island of the Ancients, I've followed the constellations and the Nectar, and it takes me to this island that I see as very sunny. I see it has lots of mountains, tons of mountains, and yeah, it seems like it's kind of hard to tell, but it seems like the land shape, it's like the shoreline is like shifting around and shifting in size, which is kind of weird. Don't know what's going on there. Maybe the mountains are shifting. It's not the shoreline. It's like not like moving around, but they're like growing and shrinking. I don't know. It's ever shifting though, so kind of cool. But anyway, I spot as I roll up, I spot a settlement right on the coast called Ingfield. So that is where I will head up to see what kind of troubles are troubling this island that I can maybe help him out with. So I'll write another line for the greeter. I'll just refer to them as that, whoever greets me on this island. Let's get a name for him. So we get 25 is Isladir. 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 Let's get another last name. Wait, that's that's an island name, not a person name. Hold on. Not that it probably really matters, but let me. My bad. I just named that person after an island. What was it? Isladir? That was 25. So wait, where's the person name? Oh, it's like way back here, isn't it? Hold on. There we go. So 25. So we got Rylaris is their actual name. Rylaris Fire Gem. They got the same last name as the one. I wonder if they're related. Or it's just a coincidence, or maybe they're like distant relatives of. Yeah, Oberonvis. Their name was also Fire Gem. Well, as I hop off the ship and start walking up to Ingfield, Rylaris. We'll say that's probably a guy. So we'll go with, Rylaris greets me and introduces himself as Rylaris Fire Gem. He is the town's something. Let's get a character roll for this guy. 22. 22 is the Cosmic Gardener. I love the sound of that. That is an awesome roll. I want to become a Cosmic Gardener. Okay. And probably like when he introduces himself as Rylaris Fire Gem, as soon as I hear Fire Gem, I probably like make a bit of a face, like a shocked face, like, whoa. He's probably like, what's up? And I'm like, well, I just came from an island with someone with your last name. And I'm gonna ask him, I'll be like, do you happen to know an Oberonvis Fire Gem? Which I'm gonna ask Mythic, because I don't know, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I'm gonna go, the chances are unlikely. I'm gonna go very unlikely. These islands are far apart, but maybe they know of them. They just don't keep in touch. Maybe they used to be on this island together. Maybe he came from that island, vice versa. We'll go with unlikely. 75, he's like, nope. Like, okay, well, you got a relative on some other island. Nice guy. He's the cosmic guardian on the island. I just helped him take down a beast, solve a whole plague deal. It was a whole thing. You had to be there. But I'm here hunting a creature and helping people with their problems. You got any problems? And he's like, we got some problems. I'm like, great. Tell me about your problems. First, as I'm talking to him, I'm going to get a kind of motivation for what this guy's about. 35, his motivation is discovering 43. Discovering history. That's kind of cool. All right. It's good motivation. I'm going to reroll that second word. I just want to see if I get something a little bit better. 16. What is that? Discover celebration or discover shelter. Yeah, no, I'll go discover history. I was just trying to see if I can maybe roll up something that works a little bit better with Cosmic Gardener, but discover history, it doesn't have to tie into their role entirely. It just happened to work really well for the last one, so I was just trying to make it work a little bit for this one, but oh well. So that's their motivation, and we get a quick description of what they look like before I start diving into whatever issues they're dealing with here on Island of the Stars, or Island of Stars, not the Stars. So 21, they are comforting. Okay. And another description, 46, they are also noble. Who else was noble? I guess they weren't. Someone else was. I think that was in my solo game I was playing. I got a noble person, but okay. So they're comforting and noble. Cool. And they are the Cosmic Gardener of Ingfield. Awesome name. Awesome title. I love it. Okay, so I tell them, I just came from Isle of the Ancients. I saw your, I guess, distant cousin or whatever there. Helped him out with the whole bee situation. And I'm here. I'm hunting down a creature of my own, but I'm also here to help if, your island's dealing with any issues. So I guess first I'll ask him. I'm like, well, the main reason I'm here is I'm hunting down this beast. It's this big old dragon called Deathwing. You ever heard of it? Let's see if he's heard of it. I'm going to go 50-50 if they've heard of it. And then if it's actually been seen here is another question. He's like, oh, the tale of Deathwing. I have heard great tale of them. Them and the cataclysm Deathwing has brought. And I'm like, okay, great. So you've heard of them. I'm guessing you haven't seen them around this neck of the... Have you seen this dragon before? Does it actually exist? I'm going to go very unlikely. He's like, no, unfortunately, I have not seen it. But maybe he says something like maybe someone else on this island in a different settlement has a tale of them running into Deathwing. Not on this island, but in another distant land. You know what? Maybe that person is in this settlement called Dragon Fairy. Since we're hunting down a dragon, that makes sense. So he's like, I've never encountered a Deathwing. I assume they're just a tale, but let me give a name to this person that's supposedly encountered Deathwing before, just so I know who I'm going to go talk to. Because regardless of what the issue is they're having here on town, I'm going to go track this person down and at least talk with them, see if I can get some more details. So their name is Gavros. Cool name. All right. I'll write that down real quick over here. So Gavros in Dragon Fairy has supposedly seen Deathwing. Okay. At least this island's heard of it, and we got already a lead on someone that may know where to find it or may has seen it. I don't know. It's something. Cool. I was like, well, what's your name? I already forgot your name. I'm so bad. Rylaris, you've already helped me more than the last island has helped me. So I'm here to help you if you have any issues. Is there anything I can help with? And he says, well, we are having a bit of an issue here on the island. And that issue is, you know what? I might actually roll on the idea table. The trouble table. The one that has like exact ideas. Because I haven't used this one yet. I used the interpreted results, but these are probably a lot better than what I can come up with. Ooh, okay. So I rolled up 4 and 2, which is theft of astral codex. An inscrutable and deeply devout collective currently safeguards the astral codex, a powerful relic with a pivotal role in averting an impending catastrophe within a heavily fortified temple on the island. The group denies access to the codex, awaiting a mystic portent to authorize its use. Given the urgency of the situation, your task is to plan and execute a daring heist, securing the codex without alerting the temple's vigilant protectors. Oh, That's way better than anything I can come on. There's good examples in here, because dang it, that's pretty good. That sounds like fun. So I need to break into this temple and steal this codex, I guess. This astral codex that's going to be pivotal in preventing some impending doom here on the island. It sounds, I mean, I can kind of do that. I'm kind of sneaky, but I'm good at, I don't know. I don't know if this is really a job for me, but I'll do it. That sounds good. Maybe I'll just also look through, like, what's sort of some of the other ideas. I don't want to, like, read through all of them, but see if any of them sounds like... Oh, some of these sound really cool. Oh, man. Whoa, wait, what is that one? You know what? I mean, that one does sound... The Codex one does sound interesting. Maybe I'll go with that for now, but I'm just glancing through some of these other troubles. Some of them sound really cool. I need to stop reading these, because some of them... Oh, there's the Infinite Staircase. That's the one I did last time. That was kind of a fun one. Oh yeah, so I need to steal an astral codex. That sounds fun. A little bit of a heist, a little bit of a caper. Sounds like a good time. Okay, so let me get some info. First off, this temple, where is it at? Is it in a settlement? Is it in a settlement? That's my question. I'm gonna go likely. Yes, it is at the heart of a settlement, to be exact. Is it Ingfield? I'm gonna go unlikely. It is Ingfield, so I don't even have to leave this place. You know what? I'm gonna go with that's very unlikely and say it's not Ingfield. I don't want it to be Ingfield. Is it Black Pine Wood? Is that the town? I'm gonna go likely for that. It is not Black Pine Wood. Okay, that must mean it's Dragon Fairy then. Well, that works out good, because that's the town I wanted to go to. You know what? I fudged the results a little bit. So what? It's my game. I can cheat if I want to. It's not really cheating. I'm just bending the narrative a little bit, because I want to like explore outside this. It looks like kind of a small settlement. I mean, I don't think Dragon Fairy is much bigger, but I want to do some traveling. You know, I'm a ranger. I want to go trekking across the island. That sounds like a good time. Okay. So there's a temple, guardians, guarding a codex. What kind of impending doom, I'm curious, is this codex specifically going to help avoid? Maybe I'll roll this table. 63. That doesn't really work. 44. Give me something I can work with. Now, 31. Disease. I swear, if I get disease again, I'm gonna freak out. 16. Celebration. Yeah, this table's not giving me what I want. 14. Blossom. I'll just maybe, let me just, you know what? I'll use my own imagination. Place is called Island of the Stars. Western Range. Okay, well, hold on. Let's think of when we first rolled up to the island. One thing we learned about it, it's ever shifting. And we noticed that the mountain ranges seem to like change shape and change size a little bit. And so we'll say that this entire island's geography is imbued with some magical energy that's always kind of fluctuating and kind of like rippling a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but maybe this codex is what is keeping it like that. And without this codex, the ripples in the island will start getting more and more intense, starting to cause like earthquakes and literally just ripping apart the island into small little pieces and like destroying the settlements on board, destroying the forests. Like the mountains will be moving and pulling apart, and the island will just kind of like essentially tear itself apart after like earthquakes and rock slides and all this other stuff happens, and then it'll just like eventually at one point like rip apart, which sounds like a pretty cool catastrophe, and that kind of fits into the ever-shifting part that we kind of came in with, which I think ties in pretty nicely. So cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so we know the temple is in the heart of Dragon Fairy, so it's not like on the outskirts or anything. It's like right in the center of the the settlement. If we don't get this, the ever-shifting environment will get more intense and worse till eventually the island just breaks apart into small little chunks, which doesn't sound ideal. And yeah, so I think, let me pull up the little listing for this. I want to maybe ask one question about the group that's protecting it. So this group denies access to the codex, awaiting a mystic portent to authorize its use. You need to get the heist without alluring the temple's vigilant protectors. An inscrutable and deeply devout collective. Why? What are they hoping? Like, why are they protecting? What are they going to gain from this? I don't know if what's his face knows. Rylaris here knows anything about that, but I could ask because I don't know anything about this like collective cult either. I'm gonna ask. I'll straight up ask him, like, do you know why they're protecting this codex? I'm gonna go 50-50 because I don't know. Do you know? They do know. Okay. Obviously it's for some mystic portent, but like, what's the reasoning? Like, what's the purpose of this? To initiate, oh boy, initiate deception, initiate passage. Ooh. So they believe this codex will, once used properly, will allow passage to other worlds. Something like that, maybe, or instantaneous passages to other islands, something like that. So this group, this collective believes this codex has magical powers that can be used like that. So maybe that's why they want it, I guess. Okay, so now we got a reason, we got a place. I guess before I go, I'll be like, do you have any tips on how to pull this off? I guess I'll specifically ask, do you have any suggestions on how to break into the temple without getting caught? I'm gonna go very unlikely, but maybe they do. He's like, nope, I know of the temple, but I've never been there, so I don't get much info. So I'm like, okay, I'll do my best. I'll let you know how this goes. No, what's the worst that can happen? So let me draw a little outline here for what this is going to look like. So I'll just say codex is in temple at heart of, was it Dragon Fairy is the name of the place. Which hopefully I survived this, because then while I'm in Dragon Fairy, I can hunt down Gavros and ask them about Deathwing. That could get a little 2-for-1 thing going on there. Heart of Dragon Fairy. So I guess I like doing like a little 3-step plan just to figure out, give me a broad outline of what's going on. So I think first step, it's pretty simple. I just got to travel to Dragon Fairy. That's gonna probably be in a little thing in of itself, because I gotta go through the mountains, through the forests. Who knows what I'll encounter along the way. So travel to Dragon Fairy. I like it. Pretty good first step. Second step would be probably just infiltrating the temple. So just right, break into temple secretly. That's the other part. I can't just like throw a rock in the window, because then the protectors will know, and I need to try to do this. I mean, I don't think, like, I'm not going to fail the mission if I get caught. I just need to get the book and get out. But ideally, I should do it without any combat inside the temple and just try to be super, super stealthy about it, which is good. I mean, I got decent shadow, so like I'm pretty stealthy. I'm very agile. I have my eagle eye. I have my keen tracking. So like, keen tracking actually is probably not going to help, but I do have also I have my Whisper Leaf cloak, but that's only stealth in natural environments. So like sneaking around a temple, a man-made temple, I'm not going to get any bonuses from that, which is unfortunate. But you know, I'll survive. Okay. So break into the temple. I guess just steal codex and escape. That's kind of the 1, 2, 3 is I got travel to Dragon Ferry, break into the temple, steal the codex, and escape. Technically, that's like 4 for the last one, but I mean, it's whatever. It's good enough. All right, we got a little bit of a plan laid out. We got some info. We got a lead on our backstory about hunting down Deathwing, which is cool. Yeah, we're ready to go. So I'm going to take a quick sip of water, and then we're going to head out to Dragon Ferry. All right. So, first thing is we're traveling to Dragon Ferry. Sounds like a challenge to me. So, I guess I could do it right next to here. Challenge of what rating is this going to be? Probably nothing too bad. I might make it like a challenge 8. Maybe I'll do like a 10. 8, 10. 8, because I think I might encounter some like combat along the way. Maybe I do a contest. That could be kind of fun too. I haven't done a contest yet. I'm gonna go out of my way to try to make a contest happen, so I at least do one on the stream, because I think they're a cool idea, and I think I like how this game does it. Discover. Okay. So I don't know. What do I make this challenge? Because I just got to travel to Dragon Ferry. There's probably a path there, but I mean, it might not be. So I'll go 8. Go challenge level 8. Okay. So, I mean, my boat is docked at Ingfield. I really can't get closer. There is like a river that goes a little bit further in land, but I don't have any land-based vehicles. I don't have a horse. I'm gonna just travel on foot, which is fine. Maybe I could make like a. See, I have like there's. I don't have the talents for like animal companion or animal whispering. I was gonna say, I mean, I can still try to do that and like find a horse, tame a horse, and then I could ride faster. But you know what? I'll just go on foot. It's okay. Yeah, let's just go. So I think my first roll will be doing a. What way am I gonna be? I mean, I guess I'm just trying to get there quick. So I'm just rolling plus wind. Not a bad first roll. I mean, it's still a fail, but that's a 7. So it doesn't really matter if I would roll a 7 or a 1. It's still a fail. So now challenge rating goes down by 1. I'm going to ask Mythic, do I encounter an enemy along the way? I'm going 50-50 on this roll. That is a 12. So that is a resounding yes. Okay. Cool. We're fighting some little. I don't think it's gonna be a big enemy. Actually, I mean, I'm saying it's not gonna be a big enemy. We'll make it something kind of simple, but nothing. You know, not just like a walk in the park. Don't make it like a creature or like a person. Probably like a creature, because then I could just like, you know, I don't have to like try to negotiate with them or try to like feel bad about killing them if it's just like a giant snake attacking me or something. Maybe that's what I'll do, the giant snake. No, snakes are cool. I don't want to kill snakes. Let me find something else to, let me look up some ideas here. Scene framing. Character roles. Where is, did I go by it? I know they have some tables in here for rolling on like stuff to fight. And they even have like combat outlines, which is pretty cool. Okay, there's challenges, which is nice to have. Contests, very cool, very cool. What's on the back? Oh, this is more enemies. Whispering vines. See, that sounds cool. Or a wisp-winged butterfly. No, we're gonna go with the Whispering Vine. I guess I can also roll on this just to see what I get. Whispering Vine sounds cool though. But what, I mean, this is more of a mountainous area. Doesn't, I mean, we're kind of going, we're going through a jungle later, but I don't think we're there yet. So what I get? 16? What is 16? Stone-eyed Gorgon. Or I can do a 61, which is gravity-defying lemur. I like that. Let's go with that. I'm gonna make him a little bit tougher than it shows here, but that sounds like a fun combat. I'll roll for their health. Okay, they got 3 health, and I'm gonna give them +2 skill level. So gravity defying lemur. That's that's interesting. All right, with HP of 3 and skill level of +2. All right, let's roll for initiative. That's a tie, so I think we just roll again. I don't really know exactly what happens on a tie. Cool, I get the upper hand. My tracking abilities, my keen senses are pretty good here in the wilderness. I'm able to spot a gravity-defying lemur pretty easily. I quickly pull out my bow and take a shot at him. So I'll roll plus wind, and I will do a vital shot to maybe aim at the lemur's arm that's like hanging on the tree with to try to knock it down. So let's see how this goes. So I'm adding +6 to my roll. This thing is gonna die. That's 11 to a 4. I take it out in one shot. That's kind of funny. It's 11 to a 4. Yeah. I don't know what to say. My aim is just that good that I was gonna do 7 damage, but dang, they rolled bad and I just rolled good. I mean, I also did use my vital shot, so yeah, I was targeting its arm and I managed to like completely hit its arm. It doesn't have big arms, so my arrow is kind of thick, so it like goes through the arm, it tears off its arm, the thing falls to the ground, and it falls far, and then just hits the ground and dies. It was a one-shot combat, but thing is dead, so we're moving onwards and upwards. So let's continue our journey to Dragon Ferry and do another challenge roll. I will be rolling plus wind again, so that's +3, and that's a 5 total, so not enough. We'll bump down to 6 challenge rating, and we'll say it's taken some time to get there, so I'll bump my energy down 2, or I'll bump it down 1, and maybe my health down 1 as well. Just because I'm just traveling, so it takes the energy out of you, lowers your health a little bit. You know, you're just getting tired. Maybe you trip on some stones or whatever. Your sock gets wet, so you're just grumpy now. And I don't know, start getting a bit of a cold. Maybe the weather's not great. Who knows? But not having a good time. But you know what? We're making progress. So I'm gonna try to pick up the speed. I'm gonna use an effort point. So I'm gonna go down to 16 and do a challenge roll. So this time I'm adding +4. And that is a 5 total, which is still not enough. It does go down to a 5 now, but that's another fail on this challenge getting there. We're almost there, but then we encounter some complication as we're almost, we're through the mountains. We're on the other side of the forest now, almost to Dragon Ferry. Maybe we can encounter we'll do a contest. You know what? Let's roll on the contest table. I want to do a contest. We haven't done one yet. I don't know if one's really going to come up later. 21. Taming the rampant vegetation. What's 12? I'm going to reroll. Some of these aren't bad, but okay, I just rolled the same thing. Reroll again. 45. I'll reroll again. I might just pick one that works good. I mean, the vegetation one kind of works because I was just on the other side of that, but I'm just reading through these real fast. Oh, okay. I like this one. Calming the unruly wildlife. It's a contest between me and a frenzied beastmaster. I like it. So we get out of the field or the forest. I can see Dragon Fairy. I can see it over in the distance. But as I leave the forest, encounter some unruly wildlife that needs tamed and taken care of. And there's some frenzied beastmaster that's also trying to tame them, I guess, yeah. Maybe I'm just trying to tame the beasts. I don't know if there's another guy out here. We'll just say there isn't. We'll just say there's just some wildlife that's like going crazy. And we'll say even it's like maybe it could be like more like livestock. Well, I don't know. How would a frenzied beastmaster come into play? Are they like also trying to tame them, and then we're just trying to see who can tame them quicker, or like calm them? I guess. Yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah. So let's do a skill level of +2, and we'll start just the contest at 0 because I don't really think either side has a particular advantage. You know what? Maybe we'll start at a -1 just because, I mean, this is their turf. These are probably animals they're familiar with. I am not familiar with these, so we'll start at a contest level of -1, which is fine. They got a skill level of +2, so I think it's going to be a pretty easy contest. So we both roll, and let me think about what I want to do. I'm probably going to try to roll... I think probably Aether is like compassion. So that's probably what I want to roll, and I'll spend a point right off the bat to like boost that. So I add +2 to my roll. Yeah, I really wish I'm not wishing I would have taken the talents for animals and whatnot, but we'll go with it. So we're both adding +2 to our rolls essentially. I get a 6, they get a 5, so that was round 1. And we're now back to contest level 0. We're now on to round, maybe mark these down here. So we're on to round 2. And let's see what I want to do now. I'll probably use a wind to try to use my agility to quickly like go around to the different wildlife, trying to just like calm each of them. Maybe not focus just on one, but like try to like hop around and quickly calm them as much as I can. So I'll be adding +3 to this roll. We both rolled 1, so I'm still doing decent. We're at a +1 now. As I'm going around trying to calm with these wildlife, this other beastmaster is also trying to, but they're not. They're losing control of these wildlife around here. They're not able to get a hang of this. They're bad beastmasters. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I'm gonna just keep doing what I was doing last, using my agility and whatnot, trying to just go animal to animal, just going around real fast, like calming each of them, just doing like area effect type stuff. There we go. That's a 6 versus a 4, so that's +2. So we're up to 3, +3 for the total contest. That was the 3rd round. So if this hasn't been resolved in 3 more rounds, then we just kind of call it. At this point, I'm gonna go back to just rolling +Aether, which is +1 for me. So that's 8. No, they get, because that's an 8 for them and a 6 for me. So -2. So we're back to +1. As they're a bit more compassionate with the animals than I am. I'm not as good with the animals. Okay, we got 2 more rounds. I'm gonna try to just go back to what was working before and just go into instead of spending time with just one animal, go into a bunch of different animals, calming a bunch of them, seeing what I can do, Yikes! It's a 6 versus a 4, so I'm about to lose this contest. We're back at -1, and there's only one more round. I'm gonna spend all the action points or energy points I can. So I'm gonna go down to 12, spending 3 plus 3. I'm adding +6 to this roll. This is an all-out going crazy for trying to tame these animals. I have an 8 versus their 7. So we're back to 0. And that's the end of the 6th round. So normally a contest would end there, but since it's a tie, we go one more round. I'm going to just do the same thing, but without the energy points. So +3, using my agility going around. Dang it. That's a 4 versus a 7. So we go down 3, and I fail the contest. I was the worst Beastmaster. Womp womp. Okay, what is the downside now that I lost that contest? The contest is over. I'm just sad. I'm not a good Beastmaster. I assume the other Beastmaster got him under his control. So like they're chilling. But well, maybe I have to like take a different route. That's gonna cost me some more energy. I don't know. I'll minus another energy point, even though I just lost a lot during all of that. That I have to take a bit of an alternate route to like just avoid this guy and his beasts. I don't know. Maybe I should have done different contests. I don't know. I just picked the one that sounds like I would have been kind of good at, but I guess I wasn't that good at it. But whatever. I'm going to do the last little leg of this journey into Dragon Fairy, adding my wind. Thankfully, we get there. Thank God. So first step done. We've arrived at Dragon Fairy. So next is to break into the temple secretly. So what I might do first is an easy challenge of trying to gather some information, and then I'll do a harder challenge to actually break in. So gather info on temple. Because definitely the inhabitants of this town would probably know a lot more than, what was it? Rylaris? I don't know why I keep forgetting that guy's name. I feel bad. And we'll say this is probably, like an easier challenge. We'll make it like a 6. Challenge level 6. As I just use I'll roll plus light. Or maybe I'll roll plus shadow. I'm trying to lie to people, like why I'm asking for knowledge. Like, oh, I'm just interested in the temple and I want to learn more about it and like how it was built and like all that stuff. Probably not being too honest about like, hey, I'm gonna try to break in and steal a book. So let's see if I gather some info. And that's a successful challenge. After asking some people, they tell me about the temple and its history and when it was built and yada yada yada. And they mention like, oh yeah, it's got like the secret cellar that goes underneath it, and there's the cellar entrance and yada yada. I'm like, whoa, cellar entrance. They're like, yeah, it's got like a little basement cellar and yeah. So there's one point someone mentions that, and I'm like, well, cool. I guess I might try to go through the cellar entrance to get there. Okay, so now that I got some info on the temple, that was pretty easy. I'm gonna just try to break into it. So break into temple. So definitely make this more challenging. Probably like getting into the temple, I think, is going to be a lot easier than actually trying to steal the codex. Like, stealing the codex is going to be like hard. I think getting in is going to be like challenging. So we'll maybe make this an 8. Something like that. I don't know. Grab a quick sip of water here. Okay. So we'll give it a challenge level of 8 of actually breaking into the temple. Especially now that maybe I would make it a little bit higher, but now we know we've gathered some info about it to make our job a little bit easier. Maybe learned a bit about the inhabitants, where they frequent. We learned about a back entrance, cellar entrance that's not used as much. So like it would be a lot easier to break in through that. Yeah. So I think I will start this challenge by doing a... Let me double check something real fast here. Rules wise, I just want to see which way would be the best for like perception. I don't know if there is one like specifically that would be good for perception. Oh, white. It literally says in perception. So white is the character's awareness, logical thinking, planning, and expertise in various disciplines. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So I will use plus light, and I have my eagle eye ability, so I'll definitely use that. That gets me down to 9 energy points, which maybe I should rest up once I get inside the temple. Just do a little mini rest. But I'll be using plus light, plus my eagle eye ability. Excuse me. To as I approach the temple, I'll keep an eye out for any enemies around. If I don't see anybody, I'm just going to try to go through that cellar door. Let's see how this goes. So there's a 4 plus 4 is an 8. I think I just succeeded on the first try. Yeah. Not too bad. All right. Break into the temple. Done. Break into it secretly. But did we get seen? I don't know. So I didn't roll plus shadow. I mean, if I would have rolled plus shadow, I would have gotten the same result, kind of. But yeah, we didn't see anybody, so I guess we didn't really need to be that stealthy. And we're going through the cellar entrance, which I guess was unlocked. I was gonna say if it was like locked, we might have to do another challenge to get past it. But if someone left that door unlocked, so that's kind of dumb of them. That's just not my fault. Okay, so yeah, we'll just head on into the little cellar, the basement, and chill there for a second. I think I'm gonna pull up the rules again because I want to do a quick rest. Let's see how that goes. I don't know if resting in this like temple is a great idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. I forget where in the rules. I think it's towards this part. Where is it? Rest. Here we go. Rest. When you decide the scene is over, you can choose to rest before framing your next scene. Doing so carries a risk, though. You're never sure what you can expect. So I'm gonna roll a d6, see what happens. 4. Each character heals up to 1 HP and 1 EP. Not a lot, but you know what? I'll take it. Oh, but I can decide to keep rolling and resting. I'll try to rest one more time. 5. 2 HP and 2 EPs. That's 3 of each total. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. I haven't gotten caught. I'm taking a little breather in the cellar of this temple that I've just snuck into, catching my breath, composing myself a little bit before I try to pull off this heist here. Okay, we're doing pretty good so far. Doing pretty good. So now I need to actually find the codex. Like I don't actually know in the temple where it is, and then trying to steal it. That's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. I have to do everything super stealthily to not get caught. So, okay, let's just get started. So, I guess I don't need this right now. I think this will be definitely challenging. I mean, this is gonna be hard challenge level. So we'll say challenge level of 11. Or wait, no. I'm gonna do a new line. Steal plus find codex. And then, yeah, this is going to be a challenge level 11. Okay. So I'm going to probably use my Eagle Eye ability again as I try to stealthily move around the temple, trying to find out where this codex might be. So I'll be adding +4 to this roll. Ooh, I did get a 6, so I can split that. You know what? Let's split it. Let's split it. What's the worst that could happen? That is a 9. And I said I was adding +4 to this roll, right? So I think I snuck in there and I got this thing with no one seeing me. I sneak around to one hallway. I overhear some of the temple guys talking about the codex, so I kind of know where it is. I hear him walking away for a bit. I don't hear any other voices, so I sneak around the corner. I see the book, throw it in my backpack, scurry back to the cellar. I don't hear anybody following me, so I just pop open the door and leave. Maybe I'll do a steal and find the codex. Maybe I'll do one more. So maybe I'll say this. I find the codex. I got the codex. I'm gonna do a separate challenge roll for escaping. I think that's a little bit more fair. I mean, I could just say I just escape, but you know what? Let's make it a little bit more challenging, shouldn't we? So I'm only gonna make it a challenge level 8. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy, but yeah, this is gonna be a little tricky. So I think I'm going to use my Eagle Eye ability again, because that is super handy. I mean, it sharpens my senses, especially my sight. So if it's kind of dark in there, I might be able to see easier, or I can see farther, hear a little bit better maybe. And I'm using my shadow to try to sneak out. So that's going to be +4 to whatever my roll is. So I just need a 4 or higher, and I got a 5. So I am able to just sneak out. I am super stealthy today. And I guess I get in the temple and out without a single problem, without anybody seeing me. That's kind of awesome. I really thought that was going to go a lot worse. Okay, no, I'm happy about that. And we escaped the temple. Cool. I'll quickly ask Mythic just because, you know what, I didn't encounter anybody inside. Does anybody see me leave the temple? I'm going to go unlikely. But I'm not going to leave it up to like impossible, right? So we'll go unlikely. Does somebody see me leave the temple? Yes. Yeah, okay, so I didn't quite make it out of this. Did they attack me? I'm going to go 50-50 because I don't know. They don't attack me, but they start yelling down at me. They're like, hey, what are you doing? And I think this is a great spot for another contest where I'm going to have to negotiate my way out, kind of bluff and say that I'm part of the temple. I'm just a security guy doing a security check or something. So, bluff out of I don't know, temple situation. I guess I'll just call it temple situation. We'll give it a who saw me? I don't know. So we'll just go with a +2 skill level for them because I don't really know. And then we'll start the contest score at we'll start it at -1 because I'm definitely not in a great spot starting this out. I've kind of been caught, so I'm gonna have to work a little bit harder to convince them that, especially I'm probably like looking all sneaky and stuff, like not really acting like I belong. So I will have to really talk my way out of this one, which I think I can maybe do. So this person's like, hey, who are you? I'm like, I'm gonna have to use shadow because that's kind of my bluffing skill. And maybe I'll go ahead and use some of my energy points. I'll use 2 of them. So I add +4 to this roll. And I just try to bluff my way out. I'm like, I'm the new security guy doing security checks. Ooh, I got a 6. And you know what? I'm going to split it because last time that went well. There we go. That is... I add 4 to that. So that's 13 total to their 6. So that means I get +7. So that's a win. I beat this challenge in one go. These split dice are really helping me. I mean, I could roll double ones too. Like, I mean, it's definitely a risk splitting the dice. I mean, probability wise, it's something you probably should do because average dice roll is 3.5. So if you get a 6, you're on average going to get like 7 total. But obviously it could go one way or it could go the other. Both times I've gotten 9 total. So 9 plus my 4 is 13, and they have 6. So that's a difference of 7. We started out at -1, so we're now at +6. So whoever spotted me completely believes my story. They're like, oh yeah, maybe it's like they were actually like a security guy was supposed to be starting at the temple, like a new guy. So it just like I happen to lie about a situation that like is actually true. I mean, obviously I'm not the security guy, but like that's definitely a thing that was supposed to happen anyway. So like it made my lie a little bit more believable. And they're just like, okay, be on your way. I'm like, thanks. And I just tell them like, I'll be back later to do another round of checks, so you better be alert. And I just kind of hightail it out of there. I head back into town, and I think before leaving, I definitely want to try to find who was it? Gavros, who's heard of Deathwing. So I'm gonna ask around and seeing if anybody knows Gavros and see if I can find them. So do I find Gavros? I'm gonna say very likely. No, I don't find them, but I get pointed to where they live, and they're like, I find someone that knows Gavros, and they're like, well, he was, up the street on the left, one house past the barber shop. So I'm like, okay, I'll go hit up Gavros here. So I go to Gavros's door and I knock. Is anybody home? I'm gonna go 50-50. I don't know. No one's home. Shoot. Okay. I will stay the night. Maybe I'll chill for a few hours in Dragon Ferry and see if I can wait for Gavros to come home. So maybe, instead of, I'll just like wait outside his house. Not like creepily, but like from a distance I'll watch. After a few hours, do I see anybody come and go? I'm going to go very likely. Nope, no one has come and no one has gone. So this house is just empty. No one's there. I'll wait a bit longer. Does anybody come or go? I'm going to go very likely again, a few more hours. And I do see somebody. So after I give them an appropriate amount of time, and I go up on the door and knock, and I get an answer. And I just tell them like, hey, I'm looking for someone named Gavros. Are you Gavros? I'm going to go nearly certain on this one. And I get 39. They're like, yep, I'm Gavros. What do you need? And I was like, well, I introduced myself. I'm Mies. I came from another island, but I've traveled here from Inkfield because I docked there, and that's a whole story why I'm here. But one of the reasons I'm on this island, I tell them, is because I'm looking for a creature named Deathwing that I've heard you know something about. And as I say the words Deathwing, I kind of see his like eyes light up a little bit. And he's like, oh, Deathwing. I was like, yeah, I was chatting with, was it Rylaris? And he said, he's heard of Deathwing, but he said you had some encounter with him. And Gavros is like, yeah. I was like, well, if you, we can go to a pub, you can maybe tell me about it. I'll buy you a drink if you spare me a bit of your time. Tell me a tale. He's like, okay. So we hit up a local bar in Dragon Ferry. And he starts telling me about his encounter with Deathwing, or supposed encounter. Who knows if he's actually lying? He might just be telling a tall tale. Who knows? But it's the best lead I got, so I gotta just follow it at this point. So I'm curious, does his tale involve encountering Deathwing on this island? I'm gonna go that's very unlikely. I don't know, that's not impossible, but very unlikely. So it's definitely not on this island. Is it a nearby island? I'm gonna go unlikely. It's not a nearby. It's like a far away island. And yeah, so Ravenosa basically tells me that he was traveling, doing some, I don't know. Let's get a roll for Ravenosa. Add a little flavor to his story. What the heck was this guy doing? What's his role? What's his job? What's his deal? So we get 62. He's a Starstone collector. Awesome. That sounds perfect. So Ravenosa is a Starstone collector. Don't exactly know what Starstones are, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. So I imagine it's some mystical artifact gem type situation. So he says, he mentions he's a Starstone collector, and that a couple of far off islands he heard have some Starstones that he was going to trade for. So he made a voyage there and did the trade, and all was well and good. But he said as he was leaving the island, he saw Deathwing, which he heard stories of. So when he saw it, he could barely believe his eyes. This massive dragons, like red and black and huge. Dragons are not very common. If they are, they're maybe like small, like fairy dragons or something. Not like these. Like he said, the shadow covered almost the entire island. And it landed on the island. Its claws just dug into the ground, tore up the mountain. It was breathing fire. It lit like entire forests on fire with just one breath of its breath. And he said if he hadn't been on the boat already leaving the island, there's no way he would have survived. But he doesn't have. No one else was on the ship with him to corroborate the tale. And so he's and I can tell he's like getting kind of emotional as he's talking, so I believe him. And I'm like, do you have a name for this island? He's like, yeah, the island was called, I guess it's not really there anymore because it got kind of destroyed by Deathwing. But we'll say the island's name was 41. The island's name was Feyric. Feyric was the island destroyed by Deathwing. I'll ask Ravenosa. Sounds like that sounds terrible. I'm sorry you had to witness that. I mean, at least you got it. Sounds like kind of an interesting story to tell. Do you happen to remember how to get to that island? Like, could you give me a rough map idea? Because I'm trying to track that Deathwing down, and obviously it's probably not on that island anymore. But if you have any info, that'd be great. So can he provide a rough map? Which I'm gonna say is very likely. Like, I think it's very likely. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I still actually have. I drew up the map to get there, so I remember it well. It's not an easy journey. It's not a close journey, but I remember how to get there. Yes, I'm like, great. I have him like, since we're in a bar, I like grab like a napkin from the bar and I have him do a quick sketch of a map, which he kind of just shows like some islands and some little path going between them and how to get to the Feyric. I ask him. When Deathwing flew into this island, this is a random question. Do you remember which direction it flew in from? Like, that might help me pinpoint where it came from. Like, did it fly in from the north or the east, or did you just see it appear? You didn't really see where it came from. Did it appear from above? So I'll ask Mythic, do you know like which direction Deathwing came from. I'm gonna go 50-50. I don't know. Well, I would go likely. It's not certain, but he said, yeah, I know which direction he came from. I'll just do a D4 roll. It came from the north. Okay. All right. I'm like, well, I buy him another drink. I'm like, you've been a tremendous help. I appreciate your time, and I need to get going, but you know, I wish you the best of luck in your stone collecting. If I ever come across one, I'll hit you up. We finish our drinks, and I put my little napkin drawn map in my pocket. I make sure the tome is still in my bag. I was like, I gotta get this back to Rylaris. So I need to now make the trek back to Inkfield. Let me take a quick sip of water here. All right, so I will do another quick challenge for the journey back to Inkfield. I'll maybe make it a little bit easier than last time, just because like I just walked this like yesterday, so I think I should know kind of how best routes to go, avoiding the gravity defying lemurs, avoiding the crazy beasts outside the forest. Like, what did I make this last time? I made it an 8, so maybe I'll make it a 6 this time of a challenge level. And we'll be on my way. I'll swiftly try to go, so I'll use wind as my way and seeing what I get. That's a 5 plus 3 is 8. Easy. I know the path. I know what to avoid. I know the shortcuts, so I make quick work of getting back to Inkfield. And I roll up and I go find Rylaris, and I tell him, like, well, first off, thank you for the tip on Gavaros and his Deathwing tail. He seemed like to have a lot of info. I'll ask Rylaris, I'm like, do you believe his tale? Like, do you think he's telling the truth? I'm gonna go likely. I don't know for sure. Is that 63? Yeah, so he's like, I do believe it. He's like, I don't have any reason not to believe him. He's like, I don't fully, I mean, it's crazy. Deathwing was supposed to be just a fable, a tale, but he exists. I don't know why this got deleted. I don't know if I like accidentally erased that. He's supposed to just be a legendary beast in tales, so he skeptically believes him, but he does. So I'm like, okay, well, I know he's not just full of it then, so I know there's some credit to it. So if I don't go on this long journey to a random isle, I'm not gonna do it for nothing. I got a lead though. That's awesome. So now, and I'm like, well, in other good news, I reach into my bag and pull out the codex. I'm like, I got this. And I tell him about, you know, I was able to get in. There's a cellar entrance, apparently. Got in fine. Got the codex fine.Got out fine. But then when leaving the temple, I encountered somebody. I just lied to him, told him I was a security guard, and they believed me. So, hopefully we can avoid whatever catastrophe is coming to this island. So, yeah, he seems happy, and all is good on Island of Stars. It's not going to tear itself apart with some crazy catastrophe, which is good. Seems like a pretty cool place. So, yeah, awesome. Okay. Well, I guess I'll thank Rylaris for his time. Tell him I'll definitely stop back at some point in the future, see how things are going. Hopefully this island's in one piece. Maybe go hit up Dragon Ferry again and hit up Rylaris. He's apparently Starstone collector, so he might need stuff with that. And you're a cosmic gardener, I forgot. So maybe I'll, like, if I find some cool plants, I'll let you know. But until then, I'm out. And so I hop back on the ship and I start following the map that Rylaris gave me to whatever island. Yeah, I probably just hit up the islands along the way. So there's maybe, let's see how many islands there are before. We'll say there's like 3. There's 3 islands before the one that he mentioned. So we'll hit up, there's 3 islands, then the busted island, and then the one that Deathwing supposedly came from. So whatever is north of that. Cool. So let's do a bit of the reflecting and all that stuff. The seafaring phase as we start sailing on the sea. So let's reflect first on our journey. Once again, you don't have to roll on these prompts. I like rolling on the prompts, so I'm gonna roll on the prompts. We get 52, which says, when were you most in awe of the world around you during the mission, and what have you decided to adopt into your persona because of this fresh perspective? When was I most in awe of the world around me? I mean, I will say seeing gravity-defying lemurs was pretty wild. That was a first for me. I've seen a lot of crazy creatures and animals. That was a first. It made me realize, like, there's a lot of creatures I haven't seen out there, especially ones that, like, defy gravity. Luckily, it wasn't strong. I took it out in one shot, but, like, that was kind of crazy. So I think that would just expand my horizons and be more ready to just face any kind of weird creatures. But I think Mies was most in awe hearing Ravenos's story of, you know, traveling to the island, then seeing Deathwing and seeing the island just torn apart and burnt to a crisp by this massive dragon. So yeah, that really puts perspective that this thing that was supposed to be a tale seems like it's real and seems like it's not that far off. So it's making my goals more, it seems more obtainable, which is really cool. So that's my bit of reflection. Should I heal up my HP, which I'm already maxed up at HP, so I'm chilling. For Bond, I will I'll go to my little writing desk on the boat and get another letter to Rexar going. Or Rex. I'm calling him Rex, not Rexar. Is there a choice you made you still grapple with, wondering if it was the right one? How has it shaped your understanding of yourself? Choice that you made you still grapple with. I definitely wonder, like, what's the deal with this codex? Like, maybe these cultists were onto something. Maybe they needed it for something that they thought was good, and maybe it was good. And maybe, you know, Rylaris thinks it's going to save a catastrophe, but maybe he's wrong. You know, you never know. And maybe the cultists are trying to, like, prevent their own catastrophe. So, like, who's really in the right? Who deserves the codex? Who's, you know, going to do the most good for the island? I mean, I think it's Ravenos or Rylaris, but, like, I don't know. I don't have that much info. I was just on that island for, like, less than 2 days. So I definitely don't know that much what's going on, and, like, of you know, the people in Ingfield and the people in Dragon Ferry and whatever, like, organization this was. So I definitely don't know if that was the right decision or not. And it kind of makes me want to, like, get more info on the quests I get before just diving into them and seeing, like, well, are these people, like, do they have the best intentions? Or are you sure these people, are you just not misunderstanding, like, these other people? So I think that's going to give me a bit more pause. So I write that in my letter to Rex about, you know, the decisions and the factions, and kind of I compose that into a letter. And I get my energy points back. So we're back to 20 out of 20. Finally, I finish reflecting and write my letters. Now I'm going to take a quick dive into the Nectar and seeing what happens. 25. The Nectar takes you on a journey through the history of the archipelago, showing the rise and fall of civilizations, the birth and death of stars, and the ebb and flow of Nectar itself. As you witness the cynical nature of existence, you recognize your capacity for growth and adaptation. How do you apply this new insight to your personal development? That's a thinker. That's a wild trip, all right. So I'm just sitting in this Nectar, I was staring up at the sky. How do you apply this new insight to your personal development? I mean, I think like seeing all of that, the birth and death of stars and civilizations and all this other stuff shows that like you're really just at a moment in time, and you just gotta just do what you can with the time you got. And I don't know, it probably applies new insight to your personal development. I mean, I think it makes me more motivated for my journey that I'm on to take down this Deathwing dragon, and like that this thing actually seems like it exists, and it holds up to the tales. It's tearing and lighting islands on fire, and that like, there's the ebb and flow of civilizations and whatnot, but this thing could kind of mess that up and really just cause more destruction. So it makes me kind of feel motivated to help get things back on a normal scale, and think that I might be able to, I don't know if I can do this, but I gotta try because someone's got to. So that's the realization I come to as I chilling in the Nectar. I lost my paper clip. Holy cow. But that was my dive, so now I can boost something or do something here. I might boost my Aether. I'm pretty good on my talents. Stealth, that didn't come too much. The Windstrider bow, actually maybe I'll level up my Windstrider bow. Get a little bit more powerful, because that's my main weapon. So you know what? I mean, it only is for moving targets, but most of my targets are moving targets. So like, I think it's a worthy upgrade. And we put Island of the Stars in our rear view mirror and head towards the next island that's on my little napkin map from Ravenous. And yeah, trying to head towards what was it called? Feyric, which is the island that was destroyed, which I should have asked how long ago this happened. Maybe the island didn't get completely destroyed. Maybe it's already being rebuilt. Who knows? But yeah. I think I'm going to end there for today. It feels like a pretty good stopping point. And like, I don't know, I don't want to start another island and then stop halfway. So we'll just kind of end it there. But that was really fun. We got through 2 whole islands, learned a lot, did a lot. Mies has grown a lot, got stronger, learned more. Good times had by all. So, my final thoughts about Nexalis. And my final thoughts, briefly, is just I really like this game. I do. I think it is... I like how simple it is. I mean, I don't know. When it comes to, like, there's a couple aspects to this. Like, for example, inventory management. There is no inventory. You have your relics. That's it. Those are the only, like, items. And you can make up other items. And I'll be honest, I kind of like that. I kind of go... I like either one end of the spectrum or another. I like either like this, where you have like basically no inventory management, no inventory. I don't have to worry about rations. I don't have to worry about healing potions. I don't have to worry about this or that or what armor I have. You just have these cool thematic relics that are all unique to play books, which I think is cool. But I also do like, on the other end of the spectrum, like I really do like stuff like Forbidden Lands or Fallout, where you have like pretty detailed inventory. You have ammunition. I also like in both of those games the fact that you have stuff like scrap and you have like materials that have like crafting. Like that's one of my favorite aspects of like some of the RPGs, of like those specifically RPGs. Like I love a good crafting system where you can like make your own stuff. 2D6 Dungeon also has that to an extent. So I do like both ends of the spectrum. I like basically no inventory like this, but I also do like having like really crunchy inventory. And it's definitely stuff in the middle that I don't like as much. Because I feel like it's like if you're gonna have all this like inventory management, like I like having like crafting and scrapping and gathering and all this other stuff, which I think is really fun. But like I do really like and appreciate games like this that just like you don't have an inventory. You just have relics, And that's it. And I think that's fine. I mean, you can have a separate sheet with stuff like you've gathered and whatnot, and that's probably what I'll do at some point. But I mean, overall, I like this game. There's a lot of things I like it, but I like how simple creating a character is. I think all the playbooks really are unique feeling, and I like that they cover all like the base like classes you would want to play in like a D&D type game. You got your wizard, your mage, your rogue, your hunter, your warrior, your paladin. It's kind of got all the bases covered of like the main types, like archetype of characters you want to play. I really like how the way system, it's just like a skill-based, skill point system. It's fine. I like it. The names sometimes is a little confusing. I'm like, which one? Oh, if I'm trying to do like a perception check, what's that? But that's like light, apparently. Sometimes the names can be a little confusing, but most of the time they do make a lot of sense, which I do like. Some of the times when systems have different like names for like their like skills or like attributes, sometimes it doesn't make the most sense and it's a little confusing, but this does a good job. I really like the aspect of goals. Like that's one thing I've picked up from like Iron Sword and Starforge that I've now been like kind of carrying over to any RPG that I play, is I really like the idea of an overarching goal that your character has. Like, why is your character out in the world doing what they do? And how do they know when their adventure comes to an end? When they die? Hopefully not, but like hopefully they have some goal they're trying to complete. So I really like the goal idea here. And I like that they give you, 4 goals that are customized for your character, and I think like they're all pretty different. I mean, I could be trying to discover a long lost secret passway or mastering the ability to navigate all terrains, but instead I'm trying to hunt down Deathwing the dragon. So I think it's cool. I like the idea of goals and having like an overarching goal for your character, so I'm glad this game like incorporates it right into part of your character. The talents are cool. They feel very unique. Not too overpowered, but they feel pretty versatile. Once again, that each playbook has their own set of talents is pretty cool. Same with the relics. I like the idea of the relics having some cool like powerful items and that stuff that you can upgrade. It's nice. I like the character sheet's good. The energy system I like. I mean, I like the little leveling up between islands. I think is a cool way to do it, because also you add in some role play. So if you're playing with other people, you can get into your character a bit, talk about the island, talk about your past, talk about the future, whatever. I think it's cool that it adds that like those role play elements kind of into the game, because sometimes you might not have a whole lot of time when you're going through the island doing crazy stuff that you may not have a lot of time to like reflect on what's been going on. It's just too much action back to back to back. So I think, I've only played this solo, but I think playing with other people, that would be a really cool aspect of it. I like the leveling up part of it, where when you like enhance your character doing the dive part of the seafaring phase, that you can really upgrade your character in a bunch of different ways, which I think is very cool. It's not just like, oh, you get XP, your health goes up, and you get like a new ability or something. It's like you can choose where you want to upgrade. Do you want a new talent? Do you want points in your way abilities? Do you want to upgrade a relic? Do you want more health or energy? Like, I like that you have like 4 or 5 different options on what you want to do to like enhance your character. I think that's really neat. The actual gameplay, I really like how simple it is. I mean, sometimes it might be a little too simple, but I think it's fine for what the game is. I mean, I really like the different adversaries that you have: the challenge, the contest, and the combat, because I do feel like that kind of covers pretty much any situation you'd find yourself in. I like challenges are fine. I like them. They do a good job. I really like the contest system. I think it's a fun way to do that, because in like some games, like doing like a chase where you're trying to chase somebody down, like those could be tough to do mechanically, but I think the contest system works good. Combat, I was messing up like the counter attacks a little bit, which I should have been utilizing those more, but combat's pretty cool. It's not too crunchy, and personally, like the more I've been playing RPGs, it's not the less I like combat, but it's like the more personally I like focusing on just not combat. I mean, I like focusing on the actual like role-playing aspect of role-playing games. So like I don't mind that the combat's not too crunchy, and it doesn't, because at the end of the day, like if I'm fighting a vulture, when it all boils down at the end, it's just going to be either I die or the vulture dies, and we're going to like maybe lose some health. Maybe some stuff happens along the way, but like there's only so much that can happen in combat. And maybe that's also just how I play it. Maybe I should be trying to incorporate more stuff to happen while combat's going on. But like, to me, combat is always just like a means to an end. And it's not that it's not exciting and it can't be exciting, but it's just like, as far as role-playing aspects, like there's not much going on there. So that's why I don't mind the combat is the way it is. And I kind of like the whole attacking and defending system. The splitting dice is fun. It's kind of like this game's way of doing like exploding dice, which I did a couple times and it worked out good for me. But that's also the risky run is like it's an optional thing that it's kind of a gamble. It's like, will you get better rolls? Will you get worse rolls? Who knows? Because it's just, you never know what kind of rolls you're going to get. I like the setting of this game. I think is very unique. Just having a bunch of islands, having this Nectar sea of celestial plasma that's all colorful and has stars in it. I think it's a really interesting and unique theme, and it definitely helps. It kind of fits the rest of like the game pretty well, with everything being super magical, because this like whole ocean is just like this magical plasma that's you're just going, your ship's built around being able to utilize that to propel itself. Town's probably utilizing it to do stuff. So I think that whole aspect is pretty cool. I like the idea of just having separate islands that you just go to an island, do a thing, you depart onto the next island. Like, I think that's a fun little thing, because then also you can like revisit islands, maybe just to do some bit of role playing. It's not like you have to go back and do there's more trouble. There might be more trouble, or you could just go back and I could go revisit, what's his name? Gavros, and just, give him some stones and tell him about me killing Deathwing. Like, that'd be kind of cool. So I like the whole islands aspect. I like that it comes with some pre-made islands. The Oracle charts are good. There's sometimes they're a bit lacking. I do wish maybe there was just some more like generic Oracle charts for like this verb, noun, adjective is useful in some cases. But like earlier I was trying to like, what's the cataclysm on the island going to be? And I couldn't really make this chart work for what I wanted. So, but besides that, like, I really appreciate they have stuff like island names and character names. Like, it seems like a lot of games just straight up don't include those. It seems like more and more are these days. The troubles, like the trouble ideas, some of them are really interesting. Like when I was scanning through these, I mean, I think the one we did just now was pretty interesting, of like stealing the codex. Like, that was kind of cool. And there's a cataclysm on the rise. The character rolls, some of them I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I rolled up like one earlier. I was like, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know which one it is. I'm trying to see it now. But then I re-rolled it and I got something way cooler. So some of them are okay, but most of them are like really cool. I think Exile was one I rolled and I was like, a Luminary. I was like, I don't know what a Luminary is. But then I rolled up Cosmic Guardian. I was like, that sounds cool. And then earlier I rolled like Exile. I was like, meh. And then I got like the Cosmic Gardener. And I was like, whoa. Like, some of them have really cool names. Starstone Collector. So like, I don't know. I like the rolls, the names. Got a lot of good tables in here. The scene framing I didn't personally really use. Story complication I didn't use. But I like the tables for like the reflecting, the bonds, the dive. And then we did use them a little bit. Like at the back, there's whole tables for like challenges if you want some challenges. And there's one for contests and then one for combat. I think the tables are pretty good. I do wish there was maybe a few more like generic tables, kind of like these verb, noun, adjective tables. But minor complaint. But overall, I do really like this game. I like it's a bright fantasy, and I definitely feel like that shows. It's very whimsical and magical, and I like it. It's just one that I haven't played in a while, and I'm glad I came back to, because it's a good time. It's a fun one, and I could see me playing it more in the future. I think that's pretty much all I got to say about it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a good game, worth a try. I'll have it linked in the description, of course, if you want to try it at some point. There is a free demo, which should also be linked in the description. But the actual game itself isn't that much. I believe there is a physical version you can get now. Like, I bought the PDFs and just printed some of this myself. That's usually what I like doing. Yeah, and I guess maybe a good fate chart, but like I'll be honest, I don't think anything's going to beat Mythic. So like I think even if a game did have a pretty good like Oracle yes no system, I'd probably still use Mythic just because I like it so much. So like that's kind of tough to beat. But overall, yeah, very good game. I like it a lot. I like how simple it is. Like I could see this just being like if I had, some friends that just want to play like a quick RPG at some point. Like I've heard the term like beer and pretzels RPG. Like I feel like this could be a nice like beer and pretzels RPG. Like one you teach real quick, you just play for an island or two, and then maybe you just put away, and then you maybe pick back up later another day. Maybe you don't pick it back up at all. You just do like a little one-shot adventure. Like I feel like that would fit this game pretty good. And if you're doing a one-shot, you could also maybe start with like some additional waypoints and talents and relics. Like, I don't know, you could start with your character leveled up a little bit, just if you're only going to play them for a little bit. I don't know, but I feel like this would make like a good kind of beer and pretzels RPG, just of how quick the character creation is, how simple it is to play, how you could do collaborative, role playing. You don't really need a game master. Like you probably could run this with a game master, but I think it would work fine without, just running it cooperatively, GM-less. So yeah, that's what I got to say about Nexalis. So I'll real quick switch to my just chatting screen if I can find it. There we go. And let me pull up my schedule. I'll quickly tease out my schedule for the next week like I normally do. So I have a video coming out Thursday. It's actually coming out Wednesday if you're a tier 2 YouTube member. So if you want access to videos a day early, consider becoming a YouTube member, a tabletop titan. It's a tier 2 member perk, but I think it's a pretty good one. So the video coming out this week will be me returning to a little card game called The Emissary. This was the first card game I covered on this channel, just the solo solitaire card game. And I did it in a stream where I played that and the Sandwich Guy. But every other card game I've played, I've done like a standalone video on. So I felt like I wanted to give the Emissary its own kind of video. And also it's one of my favorite card games, so I didn't mind returning to it and kind of doing a little bit more of like an updated playthrough and review of it. So that's what's coming up this week video wise. And then next Sunday, for next Solo Gaming Sunday, right up here, I got Welcome to the Moon that I'll finally be playing. I got this for Christmas, I believe. I've played it a little bit, not a whole lot, so I'll be playing that. And specifically, I'm going to be hopefully attempting to play through the little campaign mode in it, which I've heard good things about. I'll probably give it a try this upcoming week. I've played through some of the modules just by themselves, but I plan on giving it a shot with like the whole little, it's like a choose your own adventure type campaign book where it's like, oh, what do you want to do for this option? Okay, we'll choose, you're going to go to play the first adventure with this setup and these whatever, like this gold card or whatnot. So I don't have the best description of it because I haven't actually played that part of the game yet, but that's what I plan on doing next week. So video this week on The Emissary. Next Solo Gaming Sunday will be Welcome to the Moon, where I'll finally be playing that some and getting to really dive into that because I've heard good things about it. I mean, I only tried playing it a little bit and I wasn't too impressed by it, but I think I glanced through like the campaign book a bit and I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm trying to go into it with an open mind, but I mean, when I played the first few games of it, I was like, I mean, it's just Welcome to with a different theme. And personally, I didn't like, I played the first and the second one. There's like 8 different game modes. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of a worse Welcome to, but in space. But I think adding the whole campaign will probably change my opinion on it. So, yeah, that is, that's all I got for today. We'll be wrapping up a little bit early, but that's okay. Like I said, I don't want to start another island and then like stop halfway through. So yeah, we'll call it there. Let Mies find a Deathwing some other time. Hey there, KDK. Thank you for the streams. Game seemed fun. It is a fun one. I think it is a good time. Very lighthearted, bright fantasy. Just I like how simple it is. It's a very simple game, but it's a good one. I like it. I think this would be, like I said, it's a good like beer and pretzels RPG, and I think this would also make a good like, I don't know, someone should make a Foundry module for this, because I'd probably play it more if it was on Foundry. But I'm also a sucker for Foundry, so like there's a lot of games I want to be on Foundry that just aren't, and I would play them a lot more if they were, because then I could just probably pick it up and play it a bit easier. But who knows? Maybe one day. But yeah, overall, fun game. Had a good time. I think next time I play this, I'll pick back up the character Mies, and we'll continue this story. So last time, I don't even remember who I played last time, and I forget the whole story. So that's why I was like, I'll just start a new character this time. But I also, I don't know, I'm kind of conflicting opinions, because sometimes I do like just, starting a new character, seeing where they go. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now I have 5 of these characters that I've started, and none of them have gotten far. So it's also fun, like actually trying to progress characters and having them complete their goals or die trying, and actually like leveling them up a bit. So yeah, definitely next time I play this, I'll continue the story of Mies for his hunt for Deathwing. But yeah, that's all I got for today. So I will wrap up the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this stream, a like would be greatly appreciated. And until next time, I'll see you. Have a good week, everybody. Go explore some islands. You'll probably not encounter a dragon, hopefully.